Chapter 746. There were many beauties in the world, but there weren't many that could make Yang Wu fall in love at first sight. However, there was one in front of him. She was as beautiful as a fairy. Every part of her was perfect and impeccable. Even though her face was injured, not only did she not look ugly, she even gave others a sense of wild beauty. Perhaps some people were born beautiful no matter how they look. She's a bit cute like a slug, Yang Wu thought in his heart. He was not at the level of falling in love with every girl he saw. The other party was undoubtedly a perfect girl, but this kind of girl gave people a sense of distance. He only had admiration for her, and did not have any improper thoughts. Yang Wu stood guard for the young girl. He bit on a weed and sensed the movements in all directions. Occasionally, he would sneak a peek at the young girl. Her entire body was suffused with a strong fiery light, as if a phoenix was bathing in fire. She looked extremely mysterious. Xianyuan Huowu recovered very quickly. She finished healing in less than an hour. Xianyuan Huowu looked at Yang Wu. Her sparkling beautiful eyes were suffused with traces of scorching light. It was very moving. It was no wonder that so many men were willing to die for her. Were you secretly looking at this princess just now? Xianyuan Huowu looked straight at Yang Wu and asked. Yang Wu nodded honestly and said, I was. I was afraid that you would go berserk. I could save you at any time. Men are all the same. However, this princess is so beautiful that even women can't help but take a few more glances at me. You can be considered a real man to be able to admit it, Xianyuan Huowu said with a strong aura. Yang Wu found it hard to believe that these words came from a princess. She was too narcissistic. The next moment, a trace of rosy color appeared on her face and said, do you think I'm very beautiful? Yang Wu was speechless. Could it be that she was just pretending to be confident? Or was she just pretending to be shy? He found that the girl in front of him changed too quickly. He could not accept it, so he decided to leave first. You're fine, I'll leave first. Yang Wu left as soon as he said that. He felt that the girl in front of him was a dangerous person. Don't go. I'm scared. Can you stay with me? Xianyuan Huowu said timidly as she lightly tugged at the corner of Yang Wu's clothes. Her amber eyes seemed to be filled with sparkling and translucent tears. Yang Wu's heart almost melted. Fortunately, his will was firm, and he quickly came back to his senses and said, You and I will go our separate ways. Don't delay the journey. We can work together. If we join forces, we'll be disqualified. Looks like you don't know anything about the God of War pagoda. After reaching this level, you can use any method you want. As long as you can reach the entrance to the 9th level, that will do. Are you really going to use all means? Of course, even if it's an imperial edict. Then I'm relieved. Hey, it's your honor to be able to accompany you in this trial. Why do you have to walk by yourself again? Yang Wu felt that he was an upright gentleman. Facing a beauty capable of causing the downfall of cities, he was still firm in his heart and wasn't tempted by her beauty. How rare was that? How great was that? How great was that? How many men in this world could compare to him? The next moment, his heart completely collapsed. Ouch! My leg! Xianyuan Huowu, who was chasing after him, was in pain. She fell to the ground, and blood seeped out of her calf. This blood also had a strong pungent smell. It was obvious that she had been injured by the four-winged demonic tiger, and was corroded by the demonic aura. She hadn't been able to expel the demonic aura out of her body just now. Yang Wu didn't need to turn around to sense that the other party wasn't faking it. The softest string in his heart completely melted. He turned around and said, Continue to heal your injuries. I'll stand guard for you for another hour. He wasn't a gentleman if he didn't save someone in need, right? The reason Yang Wu found for himself to comfort himself was pretty good. You're so heartless. I just want to go to the entrance to the 9th level with you. I won't drag you down. If we really fight, I might not lose to you, Xianyuan Huowu said delicately. Those who saw it would be sad, and those who heard it would shed tears. All right. Hurry up and heal your leg. We'll set off together. Yang Wu patted his forehead and replied. This mountain range was incomparably dangerous. Perhaps having an extra helper would be of great help to him in his journey. However, he soon regretted his decision. Xianyuan Huowu had completely expelled the demonic aura, and the injury on her leg quickly healed. She once again recovered her spirit, and set off together with Yang Wu. Yang Wu felt that Xianyuan Huowu's strength should only be one realm higher than his. She should be at the peak of the heavenly fish realm, or at the half-step dragon transformation realm. She hadn't truly stepped into the dragon transformation realm yet. The other party's age seemed to be 1 or 2 years younger than him. This kind of talent was no different from the young Hall King he met in the fragmented space. They were both extremely abnormal. If Yang Wu didn't have the help of the Regal 9 profound arts and some other opportunities, it would be difficult for him to reach his current realm so quickly. Yang Wu thought that bringing Xianyuan Huowu along was pleasing to the eye. However, when she casually walked through the mountain range without concealing her aura, and even deliberately provoked those sleeping fierce beasts, he realized that the situation wasn't good. Roar! Roar! Many fierce beasts roared angrily and attacked them. Not only did Xianyuan Huowu not leave quickly, she even pulled Yang Wu into a fierce battle with these fierce beasts. Come at me if you big guys have the ability. This princess will receive all of them. Xianyuan Huowu hooted. Damn, we're passing through this mountain range, not fighting all the fierce beasts here. Why are you provoking them? Yang Wu grumbled. He pulled Xianyuan Huowu and wanted to escape. Who knew that Xianyuan Huowu would pull him back and say, "What are you afraid of? We'll be invincible under the heavens if we combine forces. We'll kill our way to the entrance of the 9th floor." More than 10 fierce beasts attacked. Every one of them was not inferior to a peak heavenly realm expert. There were even half-step minor saints. Their combined attack was quite extraordinary. It wasn't something that ordinary people could withstand. Yang Wu had no choice but to attack these fierce beasts. Kill these big guys. There's nothing special about them. While Yang Wu was fighting those ferocious beasts, Xianyuan Huowu actually retreated to the back and watched him fight those ferocious beasts. She was shouting and had no intention of joining in. This made him feel extremely speechless. Yang Wu quickly killed these fierce beasts. He rushed to Xianyuan Huowu and said loudly, "Have you caused enough trouble?" Xianyuan Huowu timidly replied, "What are you doing? Isn't it just killing a few fierce beasts? Why are you so angry? Don't you know that there's a time limit here? If we can't pass through in half a month, we won't be able to enter the 9th floor. What's the point of wasting time here? If you don't want to enter the 9th floor, you can just stay here. I don't have time to mess around with you." After Yang Wu loudly reprimanded, he didn't plan to pay attention to Xianyuan Huowu anymore and prepared to leave this place quickly. At this time, Xianyuan Huowu's sweet voice rang out again, "If you leave, all the spiritual herbs around here will belong to me." Yang Wu's figure paused. He turned around and said to Xianyuan Huowu, "Don't play with me anymore. Everything here is an illusion. It's not real." The previous few floors were indeed illusions. However, the things on this floor are real. It's up to you to believe it or not. Xianyuan Huowu revealed a trace of craftiness as she spoke. Then, she flew towards a certain direction and quickly plucked a tender and beautiful flower. It was a small sunflower that emitted a dense medicinal fragrance. Yang Wu's gaze slightly froze. He carefully observed it. That small sunflower didn't seem to be fake. He hesitated for a moment before his figure flew towards a nearby place and plucked a stalk of green snake vine. This was a heavenly herb and its value wasn't low. Yang Wu took a little bit of it and carefully chewed it. He could feel the traces of medicinal properties released from it. He was certain that this should be real. If the illusion can be created to this extent, Then I have nothing to say. Yang Wu decided to believe Xianyuan Huowu's words. How about it? The herbs here are incomparably abundant. As long as we properly pluck them, we'll have a great harvest. Who knows, we might even be able to find our ancestors' inheritance. That would be wonderful. Xianyuan Huowu held her hands behind her back, puffed out her chest, and skipped towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu looked at this fairy-like girl and hesitated for a moment before saying, "No matter how many things there are, our time is limited. Unless we're going to stay here and cultivate, I don't recommend wasting too much time here." "Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. We should have just entered not long ago. We still have a dozen or so days to use. With our abilities, as long as we're careful, we can reach the entrance of the 9th floor within 7 days. In that case, we still have a few days to use to find some valuable things. It would be a pity if we came here and returned empty-handed," Xianyuan Huowu said in all seriousness. Her beautiful eyes were suffused with a completely different light from before. It really made it hard for people to tell which was the real her. Yang Wu muttered to himself for a moment before saying, "All right, since you have such courage, I'll accompany you in this madness. However, you can't act recklessly again. Otherwise, it'll be easy to provoke those big guys. You've learned from your mistakes more than I have." "That's natural. This princess isn't a brainless person. Let's plan a bit before we take action." "Then why did you deliberately provoke those fierce beasts just now?" "I did that just to test whether you have the ability to cooperate with this princess. You're simply making trouble without reason. Aya, you're a big man. Why are you being so fussy? Do you dare to do it or not?" "Alright, this is the first time I've been looked down upon by someone. How can a man say no? Who's afraid of who? Then you have to listen to my commands. Otherwise, you'll suffer a great loss." I don't trust you. Let me do it." "Yang Wu, do you know who this princess is?" "I really don't." Chapter 747. The 8th floor of the God of War Pagoda. This was a real space. Everything here was alive and not an illusion. There were demons, beasts, and other races. They were all real. They were in different territories and each of them was very powerful. There were a lot of minor saints. Once they discovered the human race, they would definitely launch an attack. They were the creatures that were trapped by the human race. They had an innate hatred for the human race. A young man and a young girl were walking hand in hand. They didn't wander around randomly. Instead, they concealed their aura and carefully killed the nearby beasts. After half a day, the two of them had already killed many beasts and obtained a lot of top-grade herbs. Now that they had gained something, they started to work very energetically. "This is a minor saint beast. You go and lure it away. I'll take its things." Yang Wu whispered to Xianyuan Huowu. "Why am I the one to lure it away and not you?" Xianyuan Huowu pouted and said unhappily, "Because you are stronger than me. Your life-saving trump card is also stronger than mine." Yang Wu replied, "You are twisting words and forcing logic. You go and lure it away. I'll take the herbs it is guarding." "You are the one who wants to follow me. You have to listen to me. There's no room for negotiation. You stinky man. Why are you so ungentlemanly? Be obedient and I'll give you candy later." Roar. Xianyuan Huowu still listened to Yang Wu and lured the beast away. It was a single-horned bull. Its roar was like a tiger's roar. The vicious aura it released was abnormally strong. Its running speed was incomparably fast. It broke the surrounding trees and shattered the mountain rocks. If Xianyuan Huowu's delicate body was hit by it, she would probably turn into a pool of blood. Xianyuan Huowu's speed was very fast. She flew like a phoenix and turned into a wisp of flame. The single-horned bull couldn't catch up to her. Yang Wu quickly flew out and picked the herbs near the single-horned bull. Among them, there were 2 minor saint-grade cow tendon vines that were extremely valuable. "Big guy, I'll kindly accept your herbs." Yang Wu didn't want Xianyuan Huowu to face the danger alone. He waved the ox tendon vine in his hand and shouted at the single-horned bull. When the single-horned cow sensed the presence of a human in its cow nest, and saw that a human had taken away the herbs it was guarding, it was enraged again. It turned around and rushed towards Yang Wu. Bang bang! The single-horned bull ran like the wind. Its speed was many times faster than before. Before the bull arrived, there was already a powerful force rushing towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu quickly slipped away, not giving the other party a chance. He chose a direction and used swimming dragon steps to escape. After using the swimming dragon steps many times, he had already cultivated it to the acme of perfection. With the help of the dragon turtle water suppressing stance, it was as if the soles of his feet were supported by the gods. His body flew like a swimming dragon, leaving only a series of afterimages. Xianyuan Hou watched as Yang Wu lured the single-horned bull away. The corners of her mouth curled into a smile as she muttered, "You're quite loyal." Xianyuan Hou turned into a flame and chased after Yang Wu. Soon, she discovered that the direction Yang Wu was running towards was actually the residence of the evil demons. That place was filled with an extremely dense evil demon qi. When the single-horned bull rushed into that place, Yang Wu's presence disappeared. Many evil demons rushed out of the encirclement and became the target of the single-horned bull. Where did this stupid bull come from? Get lost. Food delivered to our doorstep. Let's slaughter it. The evil demons were also very fierce. They were not afraid of the charging single-horned bull at all and launched attacks one after another. A hidden figure quietly skimmed over to the evil demon race's important area, and several precious herbs disappeared. When those evil demons came back to their senses, they discovered that they had fallen into a trap. Damn it! Who stole my clan's demonic patterned flower? I'll definitely tear that person to shreds. That vicious bull doesn't have such ability. It must be someone from another race. I seem to have sensed a trace of a human's aura. Only humans would play such tricks. No matter how angry they were, Yang Wu was already far away. How could it be so easy to find him? Yang Wu had a demon core on him and could use demon qi to hide his human aura at any time. This was also the reason why the evil demons could not easily find him. After obtaining the demon-patterned flower, Yang Wu was in a good mood. He hummed a small tune as he leisurely walked on the forest path. He was not worried about being attacked by vicious beasts. There were some gaps here that were absolutely safe. Not every place was filled with killing intent. Hey, you irresponsible man! Are you going to leave just like that? A delicate voice shouted from behind Yang Wu. Yang Wu was startled. He turned around and smiled at Xianyuan Hou. How could I? Aren't I waiting for your safe return? Humph, don't think I don't know what you're thinking. There's no way you can get rid of this princess. Xianyuan Hou coldly snorted. You're the dignified seventh princess, and I'm just a lowly commoner. How could I have the guts to get rid of you? You should be the one getting rid of me. Yang Wu winked. These words made it seem like Xianyuan Hou had an affair with him. Xianyuan Hou did not mind. She stretched out her hand and said, "Let's split the things we just obtained. What's the hurry? We still have to cooperate later. It won't be too late to split them when we reach the entrance to the 9th floor. Then for the next operation, you go lure those big guys away. I'll go pick the herbs." That's not too good. You saw it just now. We cooperated quite well. If we suddenly change the plan, it'll be disadvantageous to us. Then why don't you divide the herbs? Why don't you trust your teammates? It'd be strange if I believed you. This was the first time Yang Wu had met such a difficult woman. The other party was too shrewd, so he could only obediently take out the herbs and divide them equally. He also accepted that the next time he would lead the vicious beasts or demons away, she would be the one to pick the herbs. Yang Wu originally wanted to use his prestige to scare the little girl, who knew that the little girl would start crying, and he had no choice but to do so. As a result, Yang Wu became the bait. He lured a mid-grade minor saint beast away. Its speed was much faster than the one-horned bull. There were a few times when it caught up with him and almost devoured him. Yang Wu was helpless. He could only use the ice blade wings to kill the beast. The ice blade wings was invincible under the heavens. As long as it was used well, it could kill people without leaving a trace. Yang Wu had killed a mid-grade minor saint beast. Its value was no less than any saint herb. They had set the rule that whoever killed the beast would get the corpse of the beast. There would be no more splitting. Yang Wu needed the beast core to concoct pills. This was the reason why he killed the beast. Just like this, they took turns to lure the prey and obtained a lot of natural spiritual herbs. Their journey wasn't smooth sailing. There was once when they met a high-grade minor saint beast. It scared them so much that they pissed their pants. That level was still not something they could provoke. At the crucial moment, Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu joined hands and slipped away from that terrifying beast. At this time, the two of them were lying on a rock, exhausted. They were not far apart from each other, and this scene was very warm. They were like old friends who had gone through life and death together, lying down together when they were tired. It was so natural and comfortable. "Hey, are you retarded? Why are you risking your life for that concentrated vanilla grass?" Xianyuan Huowu said with dissatisfaction. Concentrated vanilla grass was a saint herb. Other than having a charming fragrance, its value wasn't very high. Many girls liked it, but it wasn't worth risking their lives for it. Yang Wu said with a smile, "What do you know? With it, you can concoct the highest grade ageless pill. It can let you maintain your youthful appearance without aging." "Yo, as if you really know how to concoct pills," Xianyuan Huowu said with disdain. "Hee, it's up to you to believe it or not," Yang Wu replied indifferently. "Hey, do you think there's an ageless pill in this world? There should be. If I can get an ageless pill to maintain my beautiful face, I'd rather lose 10 years of my life." "An ageless pill is worth 10 years of your life? Are you looking down on the ageless pill too much, or do you think you're too precious? You're really annoying. Who am I? I'm destined to be the most dazzling goddess. 10 years of life is already a lot. An ageless pill is only worth this price. I've seen many shameless people, but it's the first time I've seen someone as shameless as you. Yang Wu, let me tell you, I'm not going to lower myself to your level. If you make me unhappy again, I'll call for people to kill you. A woman's heart is the most poisonous." Xianyuan Huowu was infuriated by Yang Wu, but she couldn't do anything. Her realm was a bit higher than Yang Wu's, but if they really fought, it would be difficult for her to gain an advantage. After they had rested enough, Yang Wu came up with an excellent plan. He wanted to use his alchemy skills to attract those vicious beasts and demons, and solve the danger they were in. Yang Wu acted as soon as he thought of it. He called for Xianyuan Huowu to protect him, and began to concoct the herbs. He didn't want to concoct pills, but he wanted to concoct some herbs that could attract the vicious beasts and demons. He wanted to lure them away from the place they were occupying, and then they could take advantage of the situation. "You really know how to concoct pills?" Xianyuan Huowu looked at Yang Wu, who took out the bronze cauldron, and asked doubtfully. "Don't be long-winded, I have a lot of skills. I'm afraid you'll fall in love with me if you see too much." "Don't be like this, I already have someone in my heart," Yang Wu emphasized. Xianyuan Huowu's hair was smoking. She put her hands on her waist and glared at Yang Wu and shouted, "Yang Wu, why don't you take a piss and look at yourself in the mirror? This princess will fall in love with you, are you delusional?" Yang Wu didn't pay attention to the angry Xianyuan Huowu anymore, and quickly concocted some herbs into medicinal liquid. Xianyuan Huowu looked at Yang Wu's appearance when he was concocting pills, and knew that he indeed had the ability to concoct pills. She thought in her heart, "This hateful guy is really an alchemist, the heavens are really blind." Xianyuan Huowu had lived for so long, but this was the first time she couldn't subdue someone of the same age. She was so angry that smoke was coming out of her 7 orifices, but she couldn't bring herself to hate him. Instead, she had a completely different feeling from others. Actually, this guy isn't that hateful. Chapter 748. Yang Wu refined 2 kinds of medicinal liquid. He then took some rags and wrapped the medicinal liquids and dregs together. Xianyuan Hou smelled the medicinal liquids, pinched her nose and said with disgust, You liar. You said you know how to refine pills, but what are you refining now? It stinks to death. Get away from me. Xianyuan Hou loved cleanliness. The smell of the medicinal liquids made by Yang Wu was really too pungent. Yang Wu smiled and said, You're the only one with a delicate body. We're humans, completely different from the beasts and the evil demon race. We don't like the taste, but they like it. If you don't believe me, just wait and see. It'd be strange if I believe you. Quickly throw those things away, or else our cooperation will end here. Xianyuan Hou threatened Yang Wu. Yang Wu couldn't wait for Xianyuan Hou to leave. He went on his way alone and didn't pay any attention to her. He took the medicinal liquids and dregs with him, and went on his way. Xianyuan Hou looked at Yang Wu, who simply left. She angrily stomped her feet and said, What an unromantic guy. Don't expect me to save you later. In the end, she still followed behind him. She didn't know if it was because she didn't want to end their cooperation or because she couldn't bear to part with him. In short, she couldn't figure it out herself. After a while, Yang Wu hid in the territory of a fierce beast. He took out the fallen moon bow and a bag of medicinal dregs, and shot them in another direction. Whoosh! The arrow was shot very quickly. It flew past the ferocious beast, and the ferocious beast smelled the smell of medicine. The ferocious beast twitched its nose, and then quickly chased after the arrow. At the same time, Yang Wu turned into an afterimage, and swept towards the area where the ferocious beast was entrenched. He released his sensing ability to the maximum and quickly found the herbs he needed. After quickly picking them, he quickly left. Everything was done flawlessly. Xianyuan Hou, who was not far away, was dumbstruck. She muttered, This is also possible. When she came back to her senses, Yang Wu had already left. When the ferocious beast returned, it let out continuous roars, causing the nearby mountains to shake. Xianyuan Hou didn't delay and quickly chased after Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't deliberately avoid Xianyuan Hou. He only lazily said, Didn't you want to cancel the cooperation? Why are you back? Xianyuan Hou also said confidently, I'm afraid that you'll be buried in the stomach of a ferocious beast and no one will avenge you. Don't be ungrateful. It's rare to see a good person like you. Of course, this princess is beautiful and generous, kind-hearted, everyone loves me, and flowers bloom when they see me. Stop. If you continue, I'm going to throw up. Yang Wu, I will kill you. Unknowingly, the two of them had been on the road for 3 days, bickering while plundering herbs. The journey was progressing slowly, and for the time being, they did not encounter any great danger. On this day, they suddenly discovered a land of inheritance, which was guarded by the strange races. The ant people race was a strange race that looked like ants and humans. Their bodies were like humans, with 2 arms and 2 legs, but their heads and bodies were like ants, so they were called the ant people race. The ant people race was incomparably evil, not inferior to any evil demon race. They fed on humans and had once committed heinous crimes. Later on, they were exterminated by humans, and only a small portion of them were kept in captivity in the God of War pagoda. There weren't many of these ant people, only a few hundred of them, old and young. They lived in a small area and hunted ferocious beasts for food. Their living environment was harsh, so those who could survive were extremely valiant ant people. Xianyuan Hou understood the situation in the God of War pagoda. Many of the opportunities and inheritances were in the territories of ferocious beasts, evil demons, or other races. This was to increase the difficulty of the trials. If one wanted to gain something, they had to pay a price, and the price they had to pay might even be their lives. Yang Wu heard from Xianyuan Huowu that if they couldn't keep their lives here, they would die. It wasn't a joke. Suddenly, Yang Wu felt that this cultivation journey wasn't as easy as he had imagined. "Are you sure where the inheritance is?" Yang Wu asked softly. 100% sure, Xianyuan Huowu said. "There are many ant people and they are very strong. It's not worth it to lose our lives for the inheritance. Let's go," Yang Wu said very rationally. He could sense that this place was filled with danger, and he didn't want to take the risk. "Are you still a man? These ant people look very strong, but if you and I work together, it'll be very easy to kill them. Their weakness is very obvious." "What does whether I'm a man or not have to do with this? Who asked you to be so cowardly? Let me tell you, every inheritance or opportunity here has extraordinary significance. It's enough to raise your cultivation level and speed up your advancement to a higher realm." "Is it really that incredible?" "Of course." Just as Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu were discussing whether or not to break into the ant people tribe, the sound of battle suddenly came from another direction. Someone had broken into the ant people tribe. The ant people let out a series of ear-piercing curses. "Inferior humans dare to invade our tribe. They deserve 10,000 deaths. Don't let them escape. I haven't eaten human flesh for a long time. I've almost forgotten the taste of human flesh. The human race's inheritance steel is with us. There will always be people who have designs on it. Now it seems that I was right." The powerful ant people tribe crazily surrounded and killed the intruders. The battle was very intense. Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu secretly watched. They were secretly pleasantly surprised. Someone had alerted the ant people for them, and they could take advantage of the situation. "Good chance. Let's break through. The inheritance steel is over there," Xianyuan Huowu said excitedly. Yang Wu immediately stopped her and said, "Don't be anxious. The intruders aren't that stupid. They will definitely have a backup plan." "What backup plan can there be? Let's quickly kill our way over and seize the inheritance. Otherwise, others will beat us to it," Xianyuan Huowu said disapprovingly. Just as she finished speaking, other people rushed out from other directions. Their target was the inheritance steel. This time, Yang Wu clearly saw the newcomers. The other party was Xing Bijian from the Xing family. There was also a beautiful woman with him. Their timing was quite good. It seemed that they were determined to obtain the inheritance steel. "Enemies are bound to meet on a narrow road," Yang Wu murmured with a trace of murderous intent. Xianyuan Huowu sensed the change in Yang Wu and reminded Yang Wu, "Don't be impulsive here. None of them are mediocre." "Don't worry, I haven't lost my mind yet." Yang Wu nodded. "That's good. When do we make our move?" "Don't be anxious. Let's wait first. The ant people tribe definitely has a backup plan. They won't let them succeed so easily." "All right. If the inheritance steel is taken away by them, you will be responsible for taking it back." Xing Bijian was a dragon transformation realm expert. The woman accompanying him was also a dragon transformation realm expert. She was Li Wei from the Li family. She was also an extremely outstanding female heaven's pride. The two of them joined hands and rushed in. The ant people blocking their way were utterly defeated. After all, their battle prowess wasn't something that ordinary minor saints could stop. "Li Wei, I will cover you. You go and take the inheritance steel." Xing Bijian wielded his battle weapon and waved it left and right as he shouted to the woman beside him. The woman was also very decisive. She moved with profound steps and rapidly rushed towards the center of the ant people tribe. There was a steel there that was bound by many vines. It wouldn't be easy to take it away. Just as Li Wei was about to succeed, a force suddenly shot towards her. This force came very suddenly and was very fast. It caught Li Wei off guard. Puff. Li Wei spat out a mouthful of blood. Her body was heavily sent flying. An old ant-man holding a bone staff appeared in front of the inheritance stele and said faintly, "A human brat dares to behave atrociously in my tribe? You are really overestimating your capabilities." Having said that, the old ant-man launched another attack at Li Wei. The bone staff was pointed forward. A fiery ray shot towards Li Wei at lightning speed. Li Wei's reaction was very fast. Even though she was injured, she was still able to react at the first moment. A sparkling and translucent shield appeared in front of her, blocking the opponent's attack. The old ant-man's strength was very strong. He had reached the peak minor saint realm. Li Wei was forced to retreat. If Li Wei wasn't a dragon transformation realm expert, any of the old ant-man's attacks would be able to kill her. Moreover, the weapons in her hands were all peak minor saint items. Their defensive power was strong enough. It was normal for her to be able to withstand a few rounds of attacks. Xing Bijin quickly rushed over. This guy had unleashed his terrifying innate ability of flame. A battle mark emerged between his eyebrows. A black sun emerged. Dense flames shrouded the old ant-man's head. The two types of burning and devouring power intertwined and pressed towards the old ant-man. Li Wei didn't hold back. She spat out a small sparkling and translucent pagoda from her mouth. The pagoda had 9 floors. It emitted an extremely sacred energy. The pagoda rapidly grew bigger and flew towards the old ant-man. Yang Wu stared at the innate ability of these two people. His expression turned solemn. The two people's trump cards were very terrifying. With his current strength, he couldn't fight them head-on. When the other party used such a killing move, there was no way he could block it. Xing Hua of Xing family and Heaven's suppressing pagoda of Li family both have different types of destructive power. Don't be careless. Xianyuan Huowu murmured at the side. Yang Wu smiled faintly and said, both of them are blessed by the heavens. The power of Xing Hua and Heaven's suppressing pagoda had affected the old ant-man quite a bit. After all, the two of them were monstrous geniuses who could fight across realms. Their combat power wasn't something an ordinary dragon transformation realm expert could compare to. Once they unleashed their strongest power, they could still fight against a peak minor saint. Ant-killing! All of a sudden, the old ant-man unleashed his innate ability. It was as if a giant ant had soared into the sky, shattering the heaven-suppressing pagoda. The Xing Hua was also scattered everywhere. Xing Bijin and Li Wei spurted out a mouthful of blood. They didn't dare to stay any longer. They turned around and quickly fled. "You've injured me. You won't be able to escape even if you have 9 lives." The old ant-man was completely enraged. He chased after them. The opportunity had come. Chapter 749. The old ant-man charged toward Xing Bijin and Li Wei. The ant-men were powerful, but their brains were much weaker than humans. After the old ant-man left, Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu finally made their move. The two of them had been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. Yang Wu rushed toward the inheritance stele first, followed by Xianyuan Huowu. They didn't attack at the same time because they wanted to be prepared. There were still ant-men guarding this place. They attacked Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu one after another. Yang Wu didn't want to be entangled with them. He constantly changed his position, dodging the ant-men's attacks and landing on the inheritance stele. Xianyuan Huowu's hands were swinging non-stop. One after another, fire pearls were thrown in all directions. Bang bang. GG. Each bead contained extraordinary power. When they exploded, many of the ant people screamed in agony. Yang Wu successfully arrived in front of the inheritance stele. Without saying a word, he cut off the vines on the stele and quickly ran away with the stele. "Catch that human!" He took the stele. An ant-man shouted. Many ant-men quickly gathered and kept attacking. Bursts of light enveloped Yang Wu. Xianyuan Huowu attacked continuously. Apart from the fire pearls, her attack power was also astonishing. She killed many ant-men in succession. However, 3 minor Saint Ant-men weren't so easy to kill. Stay here. One of the minor Saint Ant-men held a long whip and lashed it at Yang Wu. The long whip was like a snake. It arrived in front of Yang Wu in an instant. Yang Wu didn't think twice and used the inheritance steel to block in front of him. At the same time, the ice blade wings quietly attacked. Puff. No matter how powerful the Ant-men were, they didn't expect Yang Wu to have an invisible attack. Their heads were directly cut off. In another direction, Xianyuan Huowu was fighting with 2 Ant-men with a flaming sword. She was able to block 2 minor Saint Ant-men by herself. Her battle strength was really frightening. Yang Wu shouted at her, "Stop pestering me. Let's go." Yang Wu summoned the ice-bladed wings back, and another pair of profound wings appeared on his body. 4 pairs of wings appeared on his body. He flapped his wings and quickly left this place. Xianyuan Huowu transformed into a phoenix and chased after Yang Wu. The Ant-men were furious and chased after them. When the Ant-men moved out, the ferocious beasts outside were also alarmed. Some ferocious beasts attacked Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu, while some ferocious beasts attacked the Ant-men. A chaotic battle began. Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu only cared about escaping. They simply didn't bother with these fierce beasts. After flying for a while, they dived into the ground and hid in the mountains. After some twists and turns, they finally calmed down completely. "Huff, huff, for this thing, it's really hard," Yang Wu said as he took deep breath. "Do you think it's so easy to obtain an inheritance?" Xianyuan Huowu said with a smile. "Now that we have this thing, the next step is to figure out what good stuff it has." Yang Wu said. Then let's give it a try." Xianyuan Huowu nodded. Immediately after, Yang Wu sized up the inheritance stone steel and discovered that it was a solid rock. There were no battle arts or skills carved on it, nor were there any treasure map. This made him feel a little hurt. He looked at Xianyuan Huowu and said, "Is this really the inheritance stone steel? No matter how I look at it, it doesn't look like it." "Are you stupid? You need a drop of blood essence to determine if it's the inheritance of your battle tribe," Xianyuan Huowu said with a look of disdain. "This thing needs blood essence." Yang Wu slapped his forehead and said, "Are you coming or not? If not, I'll go first." "Forget it, I hope you're not lying to me. I've been dizzy with blood recently." In the next moment, Yang Wu took out a drop of blood essence and dripped it on the inheritance stone steel. The inheritance stone steel did not have any reaction. He was completely depressed. Xianyuan Huowu walked over and continuously formed hand seals. She formed ancient seals and sent them into the inheritance stone steel. Suddenly, the inheritance stone steel reacted strangely. A wisp of flame flickered and the cry of a phoenix resounded. Xianyuan Huowu revealed an excited expression. "It's my clan's inheritance stone steel." Soon, the raging firepower that emerged from the inheritance stone steel rushed towards Xianyuan Huowu. She did not dodge and directly used her body to meet the firepower head-on. Bang! The firepower released from her body merged with the firepower and quickly entered her body. The fire energy from her body swept out in all directions, appearing extremely oppressive. Yang Wu was forced to retreat quite a bit. Blue Demonis in his heart was somewhat restless, as if it wanted to rush out and take a share of the loot. "Why do I feel like I've been dumped by this woman?" Yang Wu thought to himself. He did not stop Xianyuan Huowu from accepting the inheritance. This woman's temperament seemed fickle, but she did not have any ill intentions towards him for the time being. She could be considered a good companion, so it did not matter if he gave the inheritance to her. Yang Wu fell into deep thought. He felt that the Yang clan had given him too little information about the god of war pagoda. He did not understand the situation here at all. If this continued, he would be at a disadvantage. He extracted the Yang clan's most primitive inherited memories. That was the ultimate inheritance that he had obtained after triggering the Yang clan's ancestor in the blood testing hall. He wanted to find a way to replace the blood essence verification method from the Yang clan's inheritance. He quickly discovered that the Yang clan also possessed a unique battle rune power. This kind of power could be revealed after one's bloodline power was activated. It could also be used to condense battle chi into battle runes. It could also replace the blood essence verification method. This was a method that was passed down in the clan. It was something that every outstanding direct descendant had to learn. The time that Yang Wu had stayed in the Yang clan was too short. Moreover, there was a gap in the Yang clan's inheritance. It was normal that he did not know. After an unknown period of time, a powerful aura swept out. Yang Wu once again retreated quite a distance. He discovered that Xianyuan Huowu's strength was rapidly rising. He looked at her. She seemed to have transformed into a fire phoenix. The intense flames burned the surrounding area to the point where not even a blade of grass grew. Even the rocks were turned into ashes. For some reason, Yang Wu felt an indescribable sense of intimacy towards the current Xianyuan Huowu. This feeling gave him a fright. He quickly suppressed this thought. After an unknown period of time, the aura on her body gradually retracted, and all the fire power returned to her body. A feather appeared in her hand, and the inheritance stone tablet instantly shattered and turned into dust. The inheritance was over. Xianyuan Huowu opened her eyes. Strands of flames seemed to be ready to flow out from her eyes. It was extremely oppressive. She looked at Yang Wu. Even Yang Wu felt a trace of pressure. She smiled sweetly and said, "Thank you, Yang Wu." With this smile, all living things in the world lost their color. She became the most beautiful flower in the vicinity. Just a thank you and it's over. That's not very nice. Yang Wu said in a bad mood. Hee, don't be so stingy. This is indeed our Xianyuan clan's inheritance. I'll find another inheritance for you as compensation. Xianyuan Huowu's mood was obviously very good. She acted coquettishly towards Yang Wu. Full of nonsense. It would be strange if I believed you. Hey, if you talk about me like that, I'll be very sad. If I can't find an inheritance that belongs to you, I'll compensate you at most. Alright, let's hurry up. We don't have many days to delay. Yang Wu wasn't very interested in the so-called inheritance. Increasing his strength too quickly wasn't a good thing for him. Fighting steadily and steadily was his motto. Next, Xianyuan Huowu took the initiative to lead the way. She displayed her extraordinary side. The path she led clearly avoided the paths of powerful fierce beasts and evil spirits. She easily moved forward. At first, Yang Wu didn't notice it, but after walking for half a day, he finally realized the situation. This woman is really hiding a lot of skills. Yang Wu sighed in his heart. He had already revealed most of his trump cards, but the other party was still unfathomable. He felt that he was still too inexperienced. The god of war pagoda was clear between day and night. When night fell, Xianyuan Huowu pointed in a direction and said, "There should be a land of opportunity over there, but there's something terrifying there. I don't know if it's your Yang clan's inheritance." "Are you sure?" Yang Wu asked. "My senses can't be wrong. Let me help you this time. I'll lure away the thing there, and you can take the opportunity to seize the opportunity," Xianyuan Huowu said with a serious face. Without waiting for Yang Wu's agreement, she took the feather in her hand and drew a line in the distance. The feather turned into a dazzling fire phoenix and swept over an area of several thousand feet. The dense fire was filled with destructive power, forcing out the hidden fierce beast. Roar! A three-headed, six-armed fierce beast rushed out. Waves of black demonic chi floated and bombarded the fire phoenix. Xianyuan Huowu raised her sword and attacked from behind. She slashed out with an extremely stunning sword move. The majestic sword aura contained dense sword intent. Another phoenix image floated out. Its firepower was extremely oppressive. It had obviously reached the level of a sacred fire. With this flame, she could challenge opponents of a higher level. Yang Wu was stunned. This was the first time he saw Xianyuan Huowu take the initiative to help him. For a moment, he felt that it was too unreal. What are you waiting for? Go and take a look. Xianyuan Huowu's anxious voice sounded. Yang Wu came back to his senses. He transformed into a dragon and rushed towards the direction of the fierce beast. When he got closer, he found that it was a swamp. Once one fell into it, it would be difficult for even a minor saint to escape. Fortunately, Yang Wu's eyesight was good. He discovered the situation here in advance. In addition to the swamp, there was also a dense poisonous miasma. It made one dizzy and would soon be poisoned to death. Even if one closed their nostrils, as long as they came in contact with the poisonous miasma, their skin would rot, and their body would be corroded to death. Where is the opportunity? It can't be a lie, right? Yang Wu was immune to poison. He wasn't afraid of the poisonous miasma here. He looked around, looking for what he needed. He looked around but didn't find anything special. He could only open his soul eye to look again. Soon, he found something. Found it. It's under the swamp. Chapter 750. Yang Wu's soul eye could see through the void. Nothing could obstruct it. In this pitch-black night, in this place filled with poisonous gas, Yang Wu saw a stone tablet placed under the swamp. Yang Wu rushed over without hesitation. He stretched out his hand and grabbed. His dragon-shaped hand submerged into the swamp and lifted up the stone tablet. At this time, Xianyuan Huowu shouted in alarm, "Yang Wu, watch your back!" Yang Wu was only focused on taking the stone tablet. His perception was scattered. He didn't expect that the three-headed, six-armed evil spirit to come back. A wave of evil spirit energy ruthlessly slammed into Yang Wu's back. Bang! Yang Wu was smashed into the swamp together with the inheritance stone tablet. Countless swamp mud splattered everywhere. Yang Wu. Xianyuan Huowu was in a terrible mood. She originally wanted to lure away the three-headed, six-armed evil spirit. Who would have thought that the other party would be distracted and pay attention to her own territory, giving Yang Wu a fatal blow. "I'll send you to hell to meet him." The evil spirit roared and waved its 6 arms. 6 different energies enveloped Xianyuan Huowu. Each of the energies could break the heavens. How could Xianyuan Huowu block them? Xianyuan Huowu didn't block them. She held Feather Plume and turned into a fire phoenix. She wanted to save Yang Wu. The evil spirit didn't give up. It continuously struck out with terrifying energies and formed a swamp field. It was determined to keep Xianyuan Huowu here. Xianyuan Huowu was facing a crisis. She shouted, "Phoenix transformation!" Suddenly, Xianyuan Huowu seemed to have turned into a real phoenix. She forcefully broke through the evil spirit's swamp aura and rushed down into the swamp below. At this time, a saint energy appeared. Yang Wu emerged from the swamp. He stretched out his hand and grabbed Xianyuan Huowu. He shouted, "Let's go!" Imperial Decree. This was the life-saving method that Yang Wu had obtained from the 3 holy elders of the Yang family. He could finally use it here. How could the 3-headed and 6-armed evil spirit be willing to let Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu escape from under its nose? It roared as it raised a swamp and smashed it in the direction of Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu. This swamp was like a canopy covering the sky. This was definitely something that only a minor devil saint could do. This kind of battle prowess could be considered the strongest existence on the 8th floor. Bang bang! Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu were protected by the Imperial Decree. However, they were still very close to the evil devil. Even though the Imperial Decree was very fast, it was still smashed by the swamp. The Imperial Edict was indeed a sacred item specially made by a saint. As long as they did not encounter a saint, no power could hurt them. Those swamps were all repelled by the saint energy. Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu were able to smoothly escape. Even the 3-headed and 6-armed evil spirit could not catch up to them. An imperial decree could help people escape a very long distance. When the saint energy disappeared, Yang Wu and Xianyuan Huowu fell down at the same time. Before they could rejoice, a group of terrifying fierce beasts rushed out. They had actually fallen into the territory of the fierce beasts. Yang Wu was still in a seriously injured state. He did not have time to heal his injuries. He could only rely on Xianyuan Huowu. She held onto the feather plume and was able to erupt with a super strong power. She quickly brought Yang Wu away from the fierce beast. These fierce beasts chased for a while before they encountered other fierce beasts. Many fierce beasts collided and fought. Xianyuan Huowu took the opportunity to escape with Yang Wu. Just as they landed in front of an ancient tree, many vines quickly wrapped around them. Even a tree demon dares to behave atrociously in front of this princess. Be destroyed for me. Xianyuan Huowu was very angry. She released a powerful flame that burned the tree demon. After the tree demon came into contact with the flame, it let out a strange cry and quickly escaped. This time, the two of them were finally safe. Only then did Xianyuan Huowu have the time to look at Yang Wu. She discovered that Yang Wu's back was deformed. It was very obvious that his spine was broken. If it was not quickly set, he would be dead for sure. She quickly took out a healing pill and fed it to Yang Wu. Before Yang Wu could say anything, a few pills were stuffed into his mouth. These are healing pills. There are also bone-setting pills. Eat them and you will be fine. Xianyuan Huowu said nervously. After Yang Wu swallowed the pills, he revealed a bitter smile and said, "And don't worry." Xianyuan Huowu could not help but blame herself. "It's all my fault. I knew that place was very dangerous, but I still let you take the risk. Moreover, I did not hold that guy back. If I could hold it back, you would not have suffered such heavy injuries. It's all my fault." Or, as she spoke, Xianyuan Huowu began to cry. She was a very strong girl. No matter what she encountered, she would not easily lose her composure. However, after interacting with Yang Wu for a few days, she was a little used to his existence. Suddenly seeing him injured like this, she was very sad and heartbroken. Yang Wu's face was covered in tears. The ice-cold feeling made him feel very moved. He thought to himself, "This girl is not too bad." Yang Wu closed his eyes and circulated the regal 9 profound arts to quickly refine the healing pills. Many medicinal efficacies healed his injuries with all their might. However, these medicinal efficacies were not enough for him to recover in a short period of time. He hurriedly mobilized his strength to heal his broken bones at the fastest speed possible. His spine was the heavenly thunder bone, which was incomparably hard. However, it was still broken by the other party's attack. It could be seen that there was still a huge gap between him and the other party. He still needed to continue strengthening his strength and strengthen his body to be able to face stronger challenges. Before Yang Wu could properly heal his injuries, more demons appeared in the vicinity. There were not many of them, but none of them were weak. After Xianyuan Huowu discovered them, she did not dare to tangle with them. She could only carry Yang Wu and continue to move the battlefield. When Yang Wu was carried in Xianyuan Huowu's arms, his old face turned completely red. Such a big man was actually carried in a princess carry by a woman. If this were to spread, where would he put his face? Xianyuan Huowu's heart was also very flustered. However, she did not care so much. She only wanted to save Yang Wu. Yang Wu leaned on Xianyuan Huowu's soft body and smelled the faint scent of her sweat. He did not feel uncomfortable. Instead, he felt very warm. In these past few years, he had always been in the process of working hard to climb up. He had always been doing his best to become stronger and protect the people he wanted to protect. He had never been the slightest bit negligent. The stronger he was, the more responsibilities he had to take on. Basically, he was personally protecting his family and friends. Ever since Meng Bingxue left, he had not enjoyed such treatment for a long time. At this time, he deeply understood that Xianyuan Huowu's self-praise of "I'm very kind" was not a boast. She was really very kind. He did not know whether it was because Xianyuan Huowu had lost her sense of propriety or because she had come to the depths of the mountain range. Wherever she went, there would be powerful fierce beasts and evil devils appearing, forcing her to be battered and exhausted. After running away again and again, she had enough. She carried Yang Wu on her slender back, and used a long whip to tie Yang Wu to herself. She exhaled and said, "Yang Wu, don't worry. This princess will definitely bring you to the 9th floor." She held the feather plume in one hand and the phoenix sword in the other. She began to fight the fierce beasts that were rushing over. Xianyuan Huowu was really powerful. After she had merged with the ball of flame, not only had her firepower increased, her strength had also reached the half-step dragon transformation realm. Coupled with her explosive battle chi, she could slaughter a primary minor saint. She could also fight a mid-minor saint head-on. Even if she encountered a high minor saint, she could still escape if she couldn't defeat it. At this moment, a blood-eyed dog was rushing towards her. Its running speed was very fast. It opened its bloody mouth and bit towards Xianyuan Huowu's throat. Xianyuan Huowu didn't dodge. She simply slashed her sword at the blood-eyed dog. The sword was like a phoenix while the fire was like the sun. The blood-eyed dog was cut into 2 halves on the spot. Blood splattered all over the place. A bald corpse eagle swooped down from above. It released a deadly corpse curse to disturb people's mind. Its sharp beak fell vertically like a sharp blade. It was strong enough to crush any mountain. Xianyuan Huowu's charming face revealed a trace of discomfort, but her expression was still incomparably firm. She flicked her finger and a firepower was shot towards the bald corpse. Bang. The firepower was extremely ferocious. The power of the beak was dispersed and burned towards the bald corpse eagle. Screech. The bald corpse eagle couldn't resist the power of the finger. When the firepower touched it, it couldn't get rid of it and was quickly burned into ashes. This was the Phoenix Saint Fire. Its power was unparalleled. Xianyuan Huowu killed these minor saints with just a wave of her hand. She had displayed the sharpness of a goddess. Yang Wu, who was behind her, was stunned for a moment. This girl was a little ferocious. He didn't know what was going on. Yang Wu's recovery was very slow this time. The recovery of his spine was very slow. This might have a lot to do with the fact that it had turned into a heavenly lightning bone. Although he enjoyed the feeling of being protected by others, he was incomparably impatient when he saw her facing so many ferocious big fellows. Kill! Xianyuan Huowu didn't continue to tangle with them. She released a fiery aura from her body. Flames rose from all directions without wind. A ball of fiery energy enveloped the surroundings. This fiery aura accompanied her as she charged forward. She was like a goddess of the sun, forcing the beasts that were charging at her from all directions to retreat. Many of the beasts were killed by her sharp power. However, these beasts weren't to be trifled with. Their world-shaking power broke into the firepower chi field and hit her body many times. In order to protect Yang Wu, who was behind her, she used her own body to block the force several times. Blood seeped out from the corner of her mouth, and her delicate arm was also stained with blood. Yang Wu couldn't stand it anymore. He shouted in alarm, "Put me down quickly. I'll lend you a hand." She looked back and smiled. With this princess here, you can recuperate in peace. This girl was a little cool. Chapter 751. Yang Wu had never thought that there would be a day when he would be so moved. He was being carried and protected by a young girl, and the young girl was slaughtering everyone in her path. That look of hers when she met gods and devils was something he would never forget in his life. The young girl was brandishing her weapon. Her saint flame was burning unceasingly. The flesh and blood of many fierce beasts were sent flying in all directions. They were incinerated into ashes. Miserable shrieks resounded unceasingly in this world. The young girl's speed was very fast. She killed all the way as if she didn't know what fatigue was. Not long after, she began to get injured. It was impossible for her to kill her way to the end without any injuries. 2 high-level minor saints attacked at the same time. Waves of water fell from the sky, extinguishing most of her saint flame. Terrifying golden light turned into millions of sharp blades and pierced towards the young girl. There were also other minor saints launching their attacks. The young girl fell into a helpless situation. Just as Yang Wu was about to forcefully attack, the young girl transformed into a phoenix and forcefully brought him away. Torrential flames lit up the surroundings. In an instant they appeared 10 miles away, dodging quite a few attacks. But there were still some that landed on the young girl's body. She spat out a mouthful of blood, her aura rapidly withering away. The young girl didn't dare to attack again. She quickly hid with Yang Wu. However, there were dangers everywhere in this world. There were terrifying existences everywhere. Before they had the time to rest, the serpents attacked again, forcing them to continue fleeing. At this time, Yang Wu, who was on the young girl's back, continued to speed up the healing process. He circulated a lot of immortal qi to nourish the heavenly lightning bone. The heavenly lightning bone was finally healed again. Faster, faster! Yang Wu shouted anxiously in his heart. He didn't want to be a burden to Xianyuan Huowu anymore. He wanted to lend her a hand. Suddenly, many evil devils appeared quietly and surrounded the two of them. These evil devils didn't say much and quickly launched their attacks. Xianyuan Huowu couldn't withstand their attacks with all kinds of methods. Among them, there was a peak-level minor devil saint that was too powerful. Xianyuan Huowu couldn't dodge it in time and was hit directly. Puff. The fire armor on Xianyuan Huowu's body was almost shattered. Blood spurted out once again as she was sent flying. However, she still firmly protected Yang Wu. Yang Wu's face was stained with her blood. That sticky blood stimulated his nerves, and he was completely enraged. Wisps of blue flames appeared on his body, burning the long whip tied to his body. It was also at this time that the top-level evil spirit swung its claw down again. It coldly sneered and said, "Letting you two become a pair of mandarin ducks with the same fate, I'm sure the war race will feel heartache." Xianyuan Huowu had no other choice. Just as she was about to summon the imperial edict and escape again, Yang Wu quietly broke free from her back. His voice faintly rang out, "Enough, leave the rest to me." The soul eye between his eyebrows opened, and the fighting soul rushed out from the soul eye, directly in front of the demon's forehead. It condensed into an extremely domineering fist force, and heavily blasted towards the demon's demon core. Bang! The fighting soul targeted the soul strength and also attacked the soul. The power of this punch was very powerful. When it entered the demon's demon core was almost shattered. The evil spirit let out a blood-curdling scream as its attack collapsed. The power of the soul eye continued to destroy the demon's demon soul. The two-pronged attack was almost unbearable for the evil spirit. At the same time, the ice-bladed wings slashed out once again. The power that contained traces of ice-cold intent slashed across the evil spirit's neck. PFFF. The evil spirit's head was cut off, and a layer of ice energy floated on its body, freezing it on the spot and turning it into an ice sculpture. The top-level minor evil saint had fallen. Yang Wu landed on the ground with a black death scythe in his hand. He stared at the evil spirits in front of him and roared, "All of you, go to hell! Death Aura! Demon Slayer!" Under normal circumstances, Yang Wu shouldn't use the Tao of Death. Firstly, he was afraid of attracting unnecessary trouble. Secondly, he didn't want to start a massacre. But facing these evil spirits, he didn't want to leave a single one of them alive. He wanted to kill them all. The death aura enveloped several li of land. It could deprive the life force of evil spirits. Even the minor evil saints couldn't resist it. The minor evil saints hadn't recovered from the shock of their leader's death, and felt their life force slipping away. All of them revealed a look of fear. However, they weren't all trash after reaching the minor saint realm. They recovered from their shock and erupted with powerful energy towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu activated the death scythe with all his strength. His blade was filled with the power of death. It broke through everything and fell towards the minor evil saint. Rumble! Rumble! The surrounding area was bombarded into a mess by the powerful energy. Yang Wu was sent flying by the energy of the minor evil saints. Xianyuan Huowu, who was behind him, didn't suffer any injuries. As for the evil spirits, a few of them were killed or injured. Some of them were deprived of a large amount of their life force and looked much older. There were also many scars on their bodies. The death aura was acting on them, continuing to entangle and devour their life force. The power of death. How can this human possess such a terrifying power? Kill him quickly, or we'll all die. Damn it, I've been deprived of several hundred years of my life force. I can't let him go. Just as they finished shouting, an invisible sharp blade slashed across their neck. A few of their heads fell off, leaving behind their frozen bodies. The ice blade wings contain the extremely cold chi of the frost spring mystic chi. After Yang Wu's strength increased, it had also become more powerful. After Yang Wu slaughtered these evil spirits, the surrounding area finally calmed down. Yang Wu dragged his injured body in front of Xianyuan Hu. He sat down beside her and asked, "Are you all right?" Xianyuan Hu blinked her phoenix eyes and said, "I'm all right, just a little exhausted." After eating these pills, you won't be exhausted," Yang Wu said as he handed over a few pills to Xianyuan Hu. He didn't dare to force-feed her, so it was better to let her consume it herself. Xianyuan Hu looked at the pills in her hand and said weakly, "Feed me, I don't have any strength left." After speaking, her body tilted and directly fell onto Yang Wu's body. She didn't faint, and her face was full of rosy color. She didn't really want to rely on Yang Wu. She had really exhausted all her strength. Yang Wu didn't have any dirty thoughts. He carefully fed her the pills and explained, 2 healing pills and 2 chi returning pills. Don't worry, there's no poison. Xianyuan Hu bit the pills and swallowed them. She didn't know if Yang Wu's movements were too big or if she ate too quickly, but her jade lips touched Yang Wu's finger. Her whole body quivered, and she closed her eyes in embarrassment. Xianyuan Hu simply chose to faint. Yang Wu didn't move at all, afraid of disturbing her. He circulated his profound energy and healed the injuries from before. This kind of flesh wound was much faster than the recovery of the heavenly lightning bone. After this battle, they obtained a short period of time to rest and reorganize. No more vicious beasts or evil spirits appeared in the surroundings. After an unknown amount of time, Xianyuan Hu faintly woke up. She struggled slightly and wanted to sit up straight. Yang Wu reached out a hand and held her shoulder. "Lie down for a while." Xianyuan Hu hesitated for a while, but still acquiesced to Yang Wu's suggestion. However, his hand actually stayed on her shoulder and didn't let go. The warmth of his palm transmitted to her body, giving her an unprecedented peace of mind. Even though she was born in an imperial family, the pressure she endured was unimaginable. There were so many brothers and sisters in the same clan, and each of them had extraordinary talent. If she wanted to stand out, she had to work several times harder than others, or even 10 times harder. Only then would she be able to leave others in the dust and become the most dazzling pearl. If she was slightly negligent, she would become a stumbling block for others and be annihilated under their glorious footsteps. This kind of example was common. Yang Wu's appearance had undoubtedly disturbed her state of mind. It wasn't that she liked him, but that he seemed a little special. He didn't curry favor with her, and sometimes even didn't give her a good face. However, this guy's character was indisputable. Just now, when he was angry for a beauty, he seemed a little handsome. Maybe we can be good friends. Xianyuan Hu thought in her heart. Xianyuan Hu's healing method wasn't much worse than Yang Wu's. After another hour, she was finally able to sit up. Most of the external injuries on her body had healed. Take out your inheritance stone steel, and see if it's your Yang clan's inheritance. Xianyuan Huowu said. Yang Wu lightly nodded and took out the inheritance stone steel. This time, he didn't drip his blood essence. Instead, he formed a hand seal and used his battle chi to condense the black tortoise battle rune and imprinted it into the inheritance stone steel. Whoosh! Suddenly, a change occurred on the inheritance stone. A ray of light soared into the sky, and a dragon's shadow could be seen soaring into the sky. It emitted a dense dragon chi, attracting people's attention. Yang Wu was taken aback. His face turned into a joyful expression. This is my Yang clan's inheritance? This is an inheritance that every clan can obtain. Congratulations, this might be a lump of dragon chi. Xianyuan Huowu said. Sure enough, the inheritance stone steel shattered. A high-grade spirit stone wrapped in a lump of chi energy. This chi energy was like a real dragon struggling and roaring. It was a lump of dragon chi. Dragon chi was extremely useful to dragon transformation realm expert. It was a minor saint item. This wasn't a unique inheritance of the Yang clan. As long as one had the battle chi of the war tribe, they could open it and obtain this lump of dragon chi. Yang Wu held the spirit stone in his hand. He looked at Xianyuan Huowu and said, This lump of dragon chi should be more useful to you, right? Why? Could it be that you want to give it to me? Xianyuan Huowu asked in return. If it can help you break through to the dragon transformation realm, I don't mind giving it to you. Hee, you must be moved by my desperation. You're so silly that it's cute. I was only honing my battle strength. Don't fall in love with this princess because of that. This princess has high standards. Chapter 752. 8th Level of the God of War Pagoda. There weren't many people who could reach this level. Among the hundreds of people who entered, only 1/10 of the prodigies could reach this level. There were even fewer who could reach the entrance to the 9th level. In a miserable place, a young man and a young woman were unknowingly close to the entrance. They tore apart the imperial edict and fled to the vicinity. After a series of fierce battles, they finally arrived at a quiet place and were resting in the same place. The young woman was lying on an old tree to protect the young man. The young man was meditating, and dragon aura slowly spread out from his body. This ball of dragon aura was much more majestic than the 3 strands of dragon aura that Yang Taihe gave Yang Wu. It could be divided into dozens of strands of dragon aura. As he refined the strands of dragon aura, the heavenly fish in his body had transformed into a dragonfish. However, there were still some inadequacies that hadn't been fully formed. This wasn't something that dragon aura could help with. He had to make a breakthrough to complete the last step. Even so, it was enough for Yang Wu's battle prowess to enter the late stage from the mid-stage of the high-level heavenly fish realm. He was very close to the top-level heavenly fish realm. Yang Wu didn't waste the remaining dragon aura. It wouldn't be too late to continue refining it after he broke through to the top-level heavenly fish realm. There were only 7 days left. They had to reach the entrance to the 9th level within the last 7 days. Otherwise, they would be considered to have given up on the 9th level and could only stay on the 8th level to cultivate. In the next few days, the two continued to search for Inheritance Stone Tablet. This area was very dangerous. There were many Inheritance Stone Tablets, but they were all occupied by many ferocious creatures. It wasn't easy to obtain one. Yang Wu no longer hid his strength. He used the Tao of Death and started a massacre. He cooperated with Xianyuan Huowu to obtain another Inheritance Stone. Unfortunately, there was no way to open this Inheritance Stone to prove that it wasn't theirs. Yang Wu thought that he would give up on this Inheritance Stone, but Xianyuan Huowu kept it. She said that she could trade it with someone from another race. Yang Wu didn't expect this to happen, so he let her be. He didn't plan to split it equally with her. He only suggested that he take a few more stalks of the herbs that they found in the next few days. Xianyuan Huowu nodded and agreed. The two of them gradually formed a tacit understanding, but they still had to face the separation of the 9th floor. The two of them found the entrance to the 9th floor. Yang Wu wished he could hurry over, but Xianyuan Huowu wasn't very interested. Why are you so slow? Are you feeling unwell? Yang Wu looked at the listless Xianyuan Huowu and asked. Xianyuan Huowu forced a smile and said, "It's nothing. There's still time. I'm not in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, you can leave first." Yang Wu returned to Xianyuan Huowu's side and said, "What are you talking about? We agreed to enter the 9th floor together. How could I abandon you? Do you know that after entering the 9th floor, we will separate? I'm not too sure about that. I thought we would be able to work together again. The test on every level of the God of War Pagoda is different. After reaching the 9th level, the challenges we will face will also be different. Yes, it's not a big deal. I believe that you can definitely make it through." "You idiot, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Get lost." "Hey, how can you kick me to the curb like that?" "I like to kick you to the curb after you've outlived your usefulness." The two of them chatted back and forth as they quietly approached the 9th floor. After arriving here, there was almost no danger. It was equivalent to them passing the 8th floor's test. They had gained quite a lot on this floor. They had obtained a large amount of herbs and an inheritance stone tablet each. Their strength had improved by leaps and bounds, and this trip had been worth it. When they arrived, they discovered that there were more than 10 people gathered in front of them. These were the Battle Tribe's prodigies who had passed the 8th floor's test. "Seventh sister, you're finally here. I thought you were eliminated." Among the dozen or so people, one of them faintly said. Yang Wu looked in the direction of the voice and saw a guy who stood out from the crowd looking at them. This guy was quite handsome. He was wearing a dragon robe, a war band on his head, a dragon belt around his waist, and a pair of dragon-shaped boots. He was dressed like a dragon's descendant and was very showy. He stood in the middle of the crowd as the others surrounded him. He seemed to be an innate emperor, like the moon surrounded by stars. Xianyuan Jun, the second prince of the Xianyuan clan. He was in the dragon transformation realm, and was a strong contender for the Xianyuan clan's patriarch in the future. From his tone, it seemed that he didn't get along with Xianyuan Huowu. It didn't seem like the concern between siblings at all. Xianyuan Huowu glanced at Xianyuan Jun and smiled faintly. "Second brother, I'm not as strong as you. I'm already very satisfied to be able to reach this place. How can I be like you, second brother, who can easily reach the entrance? And we're all family. Let's not talk about two families. Follow me in," Xianyuan Jun said calmly. From the beginning to the end, he didn't put Yang Wu, who was beside Xianyuan Huowu, in his eyes. Xianyuan Huowu said, "Second brother, you guys go in first. We'll rest here for a while before going in." At this moment, someone in the crowd said, "Seventh princess, who is that brat beside you? What ability does he have to accompany you? Did he eat a bear's heart or a leopard's guts?" This person was asking Xianyuan Huowu, but in fact, he was questioning Yang Wu who was beside her. This person was clad in golden clothes. He was tall and mighty, with a pair of golden axes on his back. He emitted an extremely oppressive aura. Obviously, he was a dragon transformation realm minor saint. He was the number 1 seed of Lu family, Lu Weiyu, one of Xianyuan Huowu's admirers. Without waiting for Xianyuan Huowu to answer, Xing Bijian, who was beside Lu Weiyu, said faintly, "The little bastard of Yang family is the one who killed your good friend, Golden Marquis." Among these people, Xing Bijian and Li Wei were present. Obviously, they had successfully escaped from the Ant-Men. "You're Yang Wu?" Lu Weiyu glared at Yang Wu and questioned. Yang Wu spread his hands and said, "I'm Wang Tian. Do you have any advice for me? Since you killed my good friend, you shall be buried here," Lu Weiyu threatened. Without waiting for Yang Wu to answer, someone in the crowd said, "Brother Weiyu, you're too overbearing. Brother Yang Wu is my friend. If you dare to touch him, it's the same as touching me." The person who spoke was Sun Yong of Sun family. He actually came here as well. One really couldn't judge a book by its cover. Sun Ling wasn't by his side. Obviously, she was separated from him or stayed in another layer. When did your Sun family and Yang family become friends? Li Wei said in a strange tone. Previously, Li family and Yang family were on good terms. However, after Yang family's Azure bloodline was suppressed, Li family's attitude towards Yang family changed. I don't represent our Sun family. I only represent myself. Yang Wu is my brother. If you touch him, it's the same as touching me. Sun Yong stood out and said firmly. I'm afraid your Sun family won't be able to protect him. Xing Bijin said with a frown. This princess will protect him. Who dares to touch him? Xianyuan Huowu took a step forward and said faintly. After she said that, everyone shut their mouth. The Xianyuan family was too important in everyone's eyes. Especially this seventh princess. She was deeply loved by the older generation. If she really wanted to protect Yang Wu, they wouldn't dare to make a move. Xianyuan Jun said, Seventh sister, is this your new follower? This bit of strength is too unsightly. What do you want him for? Only Xianyuan Jun dared to say this to Xianyuan Huowu. He's not my follower. He's my friend. Xianyuan Huowu replied. She paused for a moment and added, Good friend. Everyone's imaginations ran wild when they heard her add those two words. What did that brat do to become seventh Princess Xuanyuan's good friend? Could it be that his looks were to seventh Princess Xuanyuan's liking? Seventh sister, you love to cause trouble. Follow me to the 9th floor. Xianyuan Jun reprimanded. If you want to leave, then leave. My matters aren't for you to meddle in. Xianyuan Huowu's temper rose. Xianyuan Jun's gaze darkened. Xianyuan Huowu actually dared to go against him in front of everyone. Good, you're all very good. If you regret it in the future, don't say that your royal brother didn't warn you. Xianyuan Jun said coldly. He turned and walked towards the spatial door. A few people followed behind him and quickly went to the 9th floor. Yang Wu, I'll leave your head with you for now. Pray that you don't meet me in the future. Otherwise, I'll personally take it away. LV Weiyu said threateningly. He also turned and left. Xing Bijian and Li Wei also didn't want to be entangled. They quickly rushed to the 9th floor. Sun Yong stayed behind. There were 2 other people with him. They were obviously from the Sun family or his friends. Sun Yong signaled to them and let them enter the 9th floor first. Then, he walked towards Yang Wu and said with a smile, Yang Wu, I knew you would be able to reach here. I haven't had the chance to thank you for what you did before. Yang Wu smiled and said, Big brother Sun, you're being too polite. Even without me, you would have been able to reach the God of War pagoda smoothly. If it was me alone, it would definitely not be a problem. But if you want to bring Ling along, it won't be so easy, Sun Yong said sincerely. Sun Yong said sincerely. Then, he took out an inheritance steel and threw it at Yang Wu. Try and see if this is the inheritance steel of your Yang family. It had to be said that Sun Yong's gift was really generous. Others might not even be able to obtain an inheritance stone tablet even if they fought tooth and nail. Now, he was casually giving one to Yang Wu. This wasn't a generosity that ordinary people could have. After Yang Wu received the inheritance stone tablet, he said, This gift is too generous. If you think highly of this brother, then give it a try. If it's your Yang family's, then it's yours. If it's not, then just return it to me, Sun Yong said firmly. Yang Wu couldn't refuse anymore. After nodding lightly, he used his battle seal and hit the inheritance stone tablet. Whoosh! The legacy steel blossomed with a blue brilliance, and the shadow of a black tortoise appeared. A roar that originated from ancient times resounded. Soon, it shrank into a small black tortoise and burrowed into Yang Wu's glabella. Looks like this inheritance stone tablet is really fated with you. Sun Yong smiled with satisfaction. Chapter 753. An inheritance stone steel could pass down a battle art, a battle skill, or even a secret technique. Yang Wu didn't receive any of these from the inheritance stone steel Sun Yong gave him. Instead, he received an ancestral power. This power entered Yang Wu's divine court Dao flower and became a part of Yang Wu. It could be activated at a critical moment to receive the support of a saint's power and explode with extraordinary battle prowess. However, there was a limit to the number of times this power could be used. It could only be used 3 times. After 3 times, this power would completely disappear. This inheritance stone steel gave Yang Wu 3 chances to live. It was even more precious than an imperial edict. Most imperial edicts could be used for defense or escape. Very few could directly increase one's strength to kill. Yang Wu didn't expect his luck to be so good. He thanked Sun Yong gratefully. "Thank you, Brother Sunday." From then on, he considered Sun Yong one of his friends. "Haha, it's nothing." Sun Yong laughed. "Let's go, we'll enter the 9th floor." Yang Wu called out to Sun Yong, "Brother Sun, wait a moment." He then looked at Xianyuan Hou and said, "7th Princess, let me borrow your inheritance stone steel." Xianyuan Hou hesitated for a moment, but still took out the inheritance stone steel they both obtained. Yang Wu looked at Xianyuan Hou gratefully, then handed the inheritance stone steel to Sun Yong. "Brother Sun, you can try this inheritance stone steel." Sun Yong was surprised. He looked at Yang Wu and then at Xianyuan Hou. He felt that his brain wasn't enough. He didn't dare to take the inheritance stone steel and tactfully refused. "This belongs to the 7th Princess. How can I use it?" At this critical moment, Xianyuan Hou didn't go against Yang Wu and said straightforwardly, "He gave it to you, so it's yours." Sun Yong's eyes twitched, then he laughed dryly. "Then I won't be polite." In the next moment, Sun Yong formed a seal that looked like a commander's seal and inserted it into the inheritance stone steel. Whoosh! The legacy stone steel changed. A strange scene appeared. It was as if they had arrived at an ancient battlefield. There were 2 groups of people fighting fiercely. Both groups had their own formations. They were fighting to the death. Soon, these strange phenomena condensed into light spots and entered Sun Yong's glabella. Yang Wu and Xianyuan Hou both knew that this inheritance steel belonged to the Sun family. Xianyuan Hou transmitted her voice to Yang Wu, "I'll put this on you." Yang Wu was stunned for a moment, then he spread his hands and said, I will compensate you. What do you want? Spirit stones or pills, just tell me." "I don't need these things. I want you to owe me a favor." I don't think my favor is that important." "You don't have to worry about that. When I want it, you can give it to me at any time." "All right." Not long after, Sun Yong came back to his senses. He looked at Yang Wu with joy and said, "Haha, good brother. You've been a great help to your brother. Let's not talk about the pleasantries. Let's go to the 9th floor together." Yang Wu replied, "All right, this brother will remember this favor. Come, let's go to the 9th floor together." Yang Wu, Xianyuan Hou, and Sun Yong walked toward the spatial gate on the 9th floor. Just as they stepped into the 9th floor, Xianyuan Hou's voice sounded in Yang Wu's ears. "Don't force yourself when you reach the 9th floor. Preserving your life is more important than anything else." Her beautiful figure disappeared into the spatial gate. Yang Wu felt inexplicably melancholy. After Yang Wu entered the spatial gate, he appeared on an ancient stage. He was completely stunned. "Am I going to challenge an expert of the same level again?" Yang Wu murmured. A voice sounded here, "Welcome to the 9th floor's arena. You can cultivate here for 2 years, which is equivalent to 10 days in the outside world. If you want to go to the 10th floor, please defeat the opponent here. Please make your choice." Yang Wu asked, "Will the challenge be life-threatening? Is there a challenge that isn't life-threatening?" A voice asked in return. Yang Wu was speechless. The god of war pagoda's artifact spirit had gained intelligence. "Then let's challenge." Yang Wu made his choice without hesitation. His great-grandmother had told him that reaching the 9th floor was enough. However, he had more requirements for himself. If he had the chance, he would do his best to reach the top. "All right, send out your opponent," the voice sounded. Suddenly, 5 people appeared beside Yang Wu. One was Xianyuan Jun, one was Xing Bijian, one was Li Wei, one was LV Weiyu, and the last one was Xianyuan Bai. He was a branch disciple of the Xianyuan family and also a shadow follower of Xianyuan Jun. These 5 people had just appeared on the 8th floor. They all had a strong enmity towards Yang Wu. Now, they had all become Yang Wu's opponents. When Yang Wu saw this lineup, he couldn't help but curse. F***ck, don't tell me the 5 of them are going to fight me? Yang Wu felt that his strength was not bad. He even had the ability to kill a peak minor saint. However, he didn't have the confidence to face 5 monstrous geniuses who were stronger than him at the same time. Haha, I really didn't expect to meet you on this floor. Yang Wu, you really deserve to die. Xing Bijian laughed sinisterly. The 5 of us against him is really overestimating him. Any one of us can kill him with one hand. LV Weiyu said. We can't be careless. He must be extraordinary to be able to catch the eye of the 7th princess. Xianyuan Bai said. Don't talk nonsense. Bai, kill him. Xianyuan Jun ordered. Yes, 2nd prince. Xianyuan Bai replied and walked towards Yang Wu. Xianyuan Bai was very tall and strong. He carried 2 giant swords on his back. His body released an oppressive aura that locked onto Yang Wu. He was an expert who had reached the dragon transformation realm. Yang Wu felt as if he saw a yellow dragon looking down at him. It was slowly eating away at his will to fight. Yang Wu raised his head and looked at Xianyuan Bai. A faint smile appeared on his face. Aren't you guys coming together? I alone am enough to deal with you, Xianyuan Bai replied. He jumped up with one leg and pulled out his sword. He wanted to behead Yang Wu. Double Dragon seizing the pearl slash. Xianyuan Bai would never be careless when facing an opponent. Even if the opponent was weaker than him, he would still go all out to kill them. However, before his attack could land on Yang Wu, a cold energy slashed across his neck. He didn't even have the chance to react before his head was cut off. When Xianyuan Bai's body fell, Xianyuan Jun and the other 3 were stunned. The 4 of them were not much weaker than Xianyuan Bai. Xianyuan Bai hadn't even finished his move before his head fell to the ground. The impact was too great for them. Without waiting for them to recover, Yang Wu once again used his ice blade wings to attack Xing Bijian. Among all these people, he hated the Xing clan the most. However, he didn't succeed so easily this time. Xing Bijian's body quickly formed punishing fire aura chi and wrapped him up. When the ice wing blades were about to touch his body, they were burned by his punishing fire, and the ice wing blades couldn't be invisible anymore. This little bastard has a hidden special ability. Everyone be careful. Get rid of him quickly, Xing Bijian exclaimed. In the next moment, he stabbed at Yang Wu with his spear. Punishment by fire. Xing Bijian didn't show any mercy. It was as if the fire god was passing judgment on Yang Wu. His terrifying firepower was like a meteor crashing down on Yang Wu. The flames were shocking and his chi was powerful. As expected of a dragon transformation realm fighter. The power he unleashed was not as simple as a beginner dragon transformation realm fighter. He could even fight an intermediate dragon transformation realm fighter head-on and kill him. He's so cunning at such a young age. We can't let him live, LV Weiyu said faintly. After taking a step forward, he threw a punch at Yang Wu. Golden Bell Holy Fist. The fist was like a golden bell, and the chi was like a lock. This was the LV family's unique, Golden Bell Lock battle chi. It was similar to the Yang family's Black Tortoise battle chi. It had the power to attack and defend. The Golden Bell Holy Fist contained a majestic fist intent. Its power was no weaker than Xing Bijian's attack. The LV family specialized in the Golden Bell Fist. Once they reached the realm of greater mastery, they could achieve the terrifying power of shaking the golden bell and destroying everything in the world. Li Wei didn't say anything. She took soft steps and stabbed at Yang Wu with her thin sword. One sword suppressing the heavens. The Li family's sky-suppressing pagoda was famous throughout the world. Their sky-suppressing incantation was also a first-class sacred skill. With one stab, it was as if a part of the world had been pierced. Endless power fell from the sky and suppressed the world. Who said that women were inferior to men? Li Wei's attack was much stronger than many men's. They were all top geniuses who had reached the dragon transformation realm. Their combat power was terrifying. The three of them worked together and attacked Yang Wu with different attacks. What could he do to stop them? Then let's fight to our heart's content. Let's see who will die first, you or me. Yang Wu wasn't afraid in the face of danger. Instead, he was excited. His blood chi surged and the spirit of Black Tortoise appeared behind him. He activated all the power of his minor saint battle body and punched out with both fists. Black Tortoise Tyrant Fist. Yang Wu had comprehended the profoundness of the Black Tortoise Tyrant Fist. That imposing aura that could swallow mountains and rivers was extremely mighty. When he punched out, it was as if a tsunami had struck, and many attacks were blocked. He was a monster who had refined the minor saint battle body. With the power of his body, battle chi, and fist intent, he could only close the gap between one of them. It was easier said than done to fight all three of them. Boom! Boom! After a wave of attacks, Yang Wu was sent flying. Blood spurted out from his mouth. His clothes were damaged in many places. Even his armor was cracked. It was enough to show how terrifying the attacks of the three were. No matter how you struggle, only death awaits you. It's a pity that Brother Bai was killed. Let us avenge him. Take his head and offer it to Brother Bai. Chapter 754. The monstrous geniuses of the war race were all proud and arrogant. They wouldn't easily join hands to deal with those who were at the same level or lower than them. However, Yang Wu had just killed one of them, which gave them a huge impact. They didn't dare to be careless. They had to kill Yang Wu as soon as possible just in case. Yang Wu was like a cornered beast. Facing three monstrous geniuses who could fight against intermediate minor saints or even high minor saints, he had no advantage at all. Under such circumstances, he could only use his trump card. Black Tortoise Tyrant Fist. Barbarian God Arm. Yang Wu activated one of his innate abilities. The Tyrant Fist combined with his divine force, unleashing a destructive force that blocked all the attacks from the three monstrous geniuses. He could only use the Black Tortoise Battle Chi and the chaotic Heavenly Scale Armor to block the attacks that he couldn't block. Yang Wu was forced to retreat again and again. It was hard for him to gain the upper hand. The attacks from the three monstrous geniuses were more ferocious than the previous one. It was simply impossible to guard against them. Xing Bijian's battle spear was sharp. It pierced through Yang Wu's defense and landed on Yang Wu's shoulder, almost injuring his shoulder. LV Weiyu's fist force was extraordinary. It was like a golden bell that kept ramming into Yang Wu's back. Even with the protection of his battle armor, he could still feel his blood and chi churning. If he didn't have the protection of the top-grade minor saint battle armor, this attack was enough to seriously injure him. Li Wei's attacks were also quite tricky. Her sword strike after sword strike was overwhelming. Sparks were created when her sword strike landed on Yang Wu's battle armor. Yang Wu's eyes were bloodshot. He recalled the scene where he had fought with Yang Baiqiang. He had released his strongest battle aura and then retracted it, spreading it throughout his limbs and bones. His combat power had been forced to increase by 50 times. This was absolutely a terrifying increase in combat strength. In the current Yang family, even Yang Taihe might not be able to increase his combat strength by so many times like Yang Wu. Yang Wu's atavistic bloodline power was not something that others could easily compare to. Even after he had fused with his battle chi, he was barely able to block the attacks of one of them. If this continued, he would still die. If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Yang Wu didn't want to continue being passive. He roared and the Tao flower of the divine court swayed. The Tao of death instantly filled the area, trapping the three attackers. Their life force began to drain away, and they instantly panicked. This is the power of death. Damn it, how could he possess such an evil power? That's the Tao of death of the King of Hell's Hall. How did this brat comprehend it? As expected of the evil child. Use your trump card and kill him. The three of them spoke one after another, once again increasing the intensity of their attacks. Xing Bijin even unleashed his innate ability, his battle runes forming a black sun, engulfing and burning towards Yang Wu. Xing Hua's devour talent could devour and incinerate everything. Yang Wu looked at Xing Bijin and slashed at him with his death scythe. Devil Slayer. Chaotic energy swept across the arena. Strands of Tao of death broke through all kinds of energy, heading towards the three attackers. Xing Bijin bore the brunt of the attack. The combination of the death scythe and the death chi caused an incomparably dreadful lethality. Even a high-level minor saint would tremble when facing the power of the death scythe and the death chi. The three of them tried to block the attack. LV Weiyu and Li Wei were retreating while blocking the attack. They could feel their life force draining away. If this continued, they wouldn't be able to withstand it. Xing Bijin and Yang Wu were now fighting one-on-one. Xing Bijin's body emitted a thick black flame that spread in all directions, burning the death chi. The death chi was only effective when the death chi seeped into the body. If it didn't seep into the body, the death chi wouldn't affect the life force much. Yang Wu's blade light was hard to block. It still managed to cut through Xing Bijin's flame, breaking through his defense and slashing his arm. The Tao of death took effect. Xing Bijin's arm gradually lost its strength. His muscles felt like they were withering. He gritted his teeth and tried to devour Yang Wu with his powerful flame. Xing Hua was hard to defend against. Many people would have a headache when facing it, but it didn't affect Yang Wu much. Blue Demoness also emitted its devour ability, devouring most of the Xing Hua's energy. It didn't hurt Yang Wu much. Only the long spear stabbed into Yang Wu's body, causing both of them to suffer. I won't let you leave this place alive. Xing Bijin's intention to kill Yang Wu was incomparably fierce. He roared and the Xing Hua on his body covered Yang Wu. Xing Hua devour the heavens. Blue Demoness no longer kept a low profile in Yang Wu's heart. It rushed out and transformed into Black Tortoise. It opened its mouth and devoured the Xing Hua's Xing Hua. Blue Demoness had refined Xing Hua's Xing Hua before. It had become a top-tier lesser saint flame. It was only stronger than Xing Bijin's Xing Hua. Xing Bijin didn't expect Yang Wu to be able to counter his flame, but he still didn't give up. He swung his spear vertically at Yang Wu's head. He wanted to harvest Yang Wu's head. Yang Wu's eyes were bloodshot. He tilted his head to avoid Xing Bijin's fatal blow, but his shoulder was inevitably hit. It was also at this time that he counterattacked. His death scythe slashed at Xing Bijin's waist. Xing Bijin's defensive armor instantly burst, and the blade cut into his body. A thick death aura quickly entered his body. Ah! Xing Bijin screamed and took the opportunity to retreat quickly. He didn't dare to fight Yang Wu to the death. Yang Wu's slash had taken away half of his life. Yang Wu's shoulder was protected by the armor, but it was still dislocated. Xing Bijin's all-out attack was very terrifying. Before Yang Wu could rest, LV Weiyu and Li Wei attacked at the same time. I'll send you to hell! LV Weiyu shouted. Sky-locking golden bell. A golden bell flew out from his glabella and shrouded Yang Wu. He wanted to kill Yang Wu. Li Wei didn't stay idle. The long sword in her hand drew a series of trajectories, as if it had sealed off a part of the starry sky. It formed a sword net that flew towards Yang Wu. Sword formation starry sky. LV Weiyu's attack was his innate talent. The golden bell was covered with ancient patterns. Even a lesser saint weapon wouldn't be able to hurt him. Once he was shrouded by the bell, even a peak minor saint would be seriously injured. Li Wei didn't hold back her attack. As long as Yang Wu tried to escape, her attack would turn him into a pool of blood. Yang Wu stared at LV Weiyu's attack and slashed out the death scythe once again. Asterisk ding dong. Asterisk after the golden bell was hit by Yang Wu's slash, it produced a crisp sound. Cracks gradually appeared on the golden bell. When it shrouded Yang Wu's body again, it completely shattered. Asterisk puff. Asterisk LV Weiyu suffered a backlash and spurted out a mouthful of blood. His chi shrank a lot. He exclaimed, "How is this possible? Is he holding a saint weapon?" Yang Wu blocked LV Weiyu's attack, but he was hit by Li Wei's attack. His defensive armor was shredded piece by piece. Sword chi crazily penetrated his body. His limbs were bleeding profusely. His vital parts were protected by the armor, so he wouldn't be killed by her attack. Yang Wu activated the ice-bladed wings once again. It split into two. One wing pierced towards LV Weiyu's throat, and the other wing cut towards Li Wei's head. LV Weiyu had just suffered a backlash. Before he could calm down, the ice-bladed wings suddenly pierced towards him. When he reacted, it was already too late. The ice-bladed wings pierced through his throat. He covered his neck with his eyes wide open. He couldn't accept the fact that he was going to be killed. Li Wei wasn't so unlucky. She remembered Xing Bijian's warning and carefully guarded against Yang Wu's ice-bladed wings. Sure enough, when the ice-bladed wings cut towards her, the battle chi of the heaven-suppressing divine pagoda appeared on her body, firmly protecting her. Since the ice-bladed wings couldn't kill her immediately, she had enough space to dodge. After Yang Wu took a deep breath, he mobilized his strength to heal his injuries. He gritted his teeth and continued to chase Li Wei. The profound phoenix sword appeared in his other hand, and he stabbed out with an extreme sword light. Celestial River Destruction. Wherever the sword passed, the stars were destroyed. This was Yang Wu's all-out attack. In the blink of an eye, he arrived in front of Li Wei. Just when he thought he could succeed, Li Wei used a displacement transposition secret technique, causing him to stab empty air. Heaven-suppressing divine pagoda kill. Li Wei took advantage of Yang Wu's opening and brought out her innate ability. A 9-storied pagoda rushed out and quickly enveloped Yang Wu. Infinite killing power was released in the town, wanting to suppress Yang Wu and turn him into a pool of blood. Xing Bijian couldn't help but excitedly shout, "Good job, Li Wei, kill him!" But before he could be satisfied, the heaven-suppressing divine pagoda was completely destroyed by Yang Wu's 2 slashes. The death scythe was definitely a holy weapon. Otherwise, it would be impossible to break through the innate abilities of 2 monstrous geniuses. Yang Wu also didn't have a good time. The power of the heaven-suppressing divine pagoda was too terrifying. It shook his internal organs and made him bleed all over. His appearance was very miserable. Kill! Li Wei endured the backlash and once again rushed towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't even have the ability to move. He urged the ice blade wings to surround Li Wei from both sides. It was like 2 peerless divine weapons were attacking, forcing Li Wei to be unable to kill him. "Your Highness, now is the best time to kill him," Xing Bijian said to Xianyuan Jun, who hadn't made a move yet. Xianyuan Jun coldly replied, "If you want to kill him, go ahead. This prince doesn't need to join hands with you." Xing Bijian was helpless. He clenched his teeth and raised his battle spear to attack Yang Wu again. Although he had just been seriously injured by Yang Wu, he got a chance to breathe and recovered a bit of his strength. He firmly believed that killing Yang Wu wouldn't be a problem. "Little bastard, die!" Xing Bijian roared out in shock. He raised his spear and thrust it towards Yang Wu from a distance. 1,000 zhang long spear light pierced towards Yang Wu's heart. Yang Wu poured all of his power into Wind God's leg. His body brushed past the power of the spear and went straight for Xingbijian. He pushed his speed to the limit and appeared in front of Xingbijian like a swimming dragon. He raised the phoenix profound sword and shouted, "Blue Beauty, kill him for me!" The phoenix profound sword left his hand and a touch of blue flame attached to the sword. The sacred fire turned into a phoenix and the sword's momentum was like a rainbow as it pierced towards Xingbijian's forehead. Xingbijian wanted to dodge, but the oppressive firepower made him unable to open his eyes. When he wanted to dodge again, the tip of the sword had already pierced his forehead. A drop of blood slowly fell from his forehead. Chapter 755. Xingbijian was dead. He was one of the top 3 existences in the younger generation of the Xing clan. Not only was he unable to kill Yang Wu together with the other monsters, he was even killed instead. He found it a little sad and couldn't accept this fact. Li Wei looked at the dead Xingbijian and shuddered. She condensed her energy into the heaven-suppressing pagoda and protected herself from the ice blade wings. Yang Wu couldn't do anything to her and could only withdraw the ice blade wings. Every time he used the ice blade wings, it would consume the energy of his kidneys. He didn't want his kidneys to be weak, so it was better to control himself. After killing Xingbijian, the pressure on Yang Wu was much lighter. He looked at Li Wei with scarlet eyes and raised the phoenix profound sword to kill Li Wei. He ignored Xianyuan Jun. He sensed that he was an arrogant guy who wouldn't easily make a move. He could use this opportunity to kill Li Wei in the shortest time possible. "Do you really think I'm easy to bully?" Li Wei shouted. She raised her long sword and attacked repeatedly. She used all of her strength in each strike. Countless sword chi weaved, killing every corner of the arena. Yang Wu had nowhere to hide. Yang Wu gave up on dodging. He fused with the black tortoise battle chi. It was as if he had transformed into the black tortoise. A thick layer of battle armor condensed on his body. This battle armor was completely different from the ordinary heavenly scale armor. It was like an 8-trigram tortoise shell. When the sword chi landed on the tortoise shell, it couldn't pierce through the tortoise shell immediately. Yang Wu carried the tortoise and approached Li Wei step by step. The death aura was released again. The dense death aura was terrifying. If one touched it, they would lose their life force. Li Wei was afraid. She asked Xianyuan Jun for help. "Second Prince, what are you waiting for?" Xianyuan Jun crossed his arms in front of his chest and coldly looked at the scene. He had no intention of making a move. "I'll fight you to the death." Li Wei no longer counted on Xianyuan Jun. A majestic energy was released from her body. The heaven-suppressing pagoda became more and more condensed. The 9 pagodas once again enveloped Yang Wu. The heaven-suppressing pagoda had already been destroyed by Yang Wu once. Its power was greatly reduced and couldn't be compared to before. Yang Wu raised the death scythe in his hand and slashed forward. The heavy and blunt saber slammed into the heaven-suppressing divine pagoda with a terrifying deathly energy. Bang! The heaven-suppressing pagoda was instantly shattered. Just when Yang Wu thought that Li Wei had run out of tricks, Li Wei suddenly burst forth with an incomparably stunning speed. Fulgurating shadows! She suddenly appeared behind Yang Wu and slashed her sword at Yang Wu's head. This was Li Wei's innate talent. It came from the innate talent of her feet. She could teleport in a short period of time, so fast that it was undetectable. With this move, Li Wei had killed many opponents who were of a higher level than her. Among all the martial arts in the world, only speed was unbreakable. Yang Wu's hair stood on end. He didn't even think about it. He quickly squatted down. The sword light streaked across his head, and a few strands of hair instantly fell to the ground. On the 6th floor, he encountered the attack of ancestor Yang Baiqiang's innate ability. He was almost killed at that time. Since then, he began to focus on tempering his perception. He thought of ways to catch some sudden attack. It was precisely because of this that he was able to save his life under such a dangerous attack. If his reaction was half a beat slower, his head would have been cut off. Even the tortoise shell he condensed couldn't block the attack. Li Wei didn't expect that Yang Wu would be able to dodge her killing blow, but she didn't panic. Her hand quickly chopped downwards. She was determined to kill Yang Wu, who knew that Yang Wu's reaction was faster than her. After squatting down, he quickly bounced up and crashed into Li Wei's body. Pooh! The force of Yang Wu's crash wasn't light. Li Wei was caught off guard and was hit in the chest. Fresh blood instantly spurted out of her mouth. Yang Wu wouldn't let go of this opportunity. His death aura quickly condensed on Li Wei's body. Strands of death aura entered her body and began to erase her life force. It made her feel the fear of aging. Women loved to be beautiful. Li Wei was no exception. When she felt her flesh aging, her mind was in chaos. I don't want to be old. I don't want to be old. Li Wei cried out in panic. You're not old. You're just dead. Yang Wu's voice rang out. The death scythe slashed across her neck and her head was quickly separated. 5 dragon transformation realm monsters. The 4th, Li Wei, had fallen. Only the exhausted Yang Wu and Xianyuan Jun, who had yet to make a move, were left in the arena. Yang Wu turned back to look at Xianyuan Jun, staring coldly at the other party as he said, "What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?" Xianyuan Jun said indifferently, "I'll give you half an hour to recover. After half an hour, I'll take your dog life." Yang Wu raised his eyebrows and then laughed loudly. "Haha, you're really conceited. I don't need it. Killing you is as easy as killing a chicken or a dog." Xianyuan Jun narrowed his eyes and said, "Your methods aren't weak, but in my eyes they're really nothing. I'm only giving you a fair chance so you can die in peace." "All right, since you're so generous, then I'll kindly accept this half hour. I hope you don't regret it," Yang Wu said with an imperceptible smile. In the next moment, Yang Wu sat down cross-legged. He released the Supreme 9 Profound Arts and crazily absorbed the profound chi of heaven and earth on the 9th floor. A large amount of profound chi of heaven and earth was like swallows returning to their nest. It formed a large amount of profound chi that wrapped around him and seeped into every part of his body. Xianyuan Jun raised his eyebrows. Clearly, he was shocked by Yang Wu absorbing the profound chi of heaven and earth. Their Xianyuan family had been passed down for countless years. The Yellow Emperor art was unparalleled in the world and was one of the top profound arts in the transcendent world. As the prince of the Xianyuan family, Xianyuan Jun naturally cultivated this profound art. When he was at Yang Wu's realm, he couldn't absorb the profound chi of heaven and earth as quickly as Yang Wu. Even his current absorption speed seemed to be inferior. How could he not be shocked? Could it be that he cultivated the Yang family's oldest black tortoise battle art? But wasn't the black tortoise battle art already lost? And I heard that only those with pure bloodline power can display its strongest ability. Could it be that this brat? Xianyuan Jun thought in his heart. The Supreme 9 Profound Arts was the strongest immortal art that Little Hay had passed on to Yang Wu. After absorbing 3 kinds of profound chi, it had indeed displayed its extraordinary side. The profound chi of heaven and earth in the 9th floor was too rich. It was infinitely close to the purest power, without any impurities. Bit by bit, it entered Yang Wu's dantian. The heavenly fish was madly swallowing and growing stronger. A lot of profound chi of heaven and earth entered the earth sea. The earth sea profound congealed unceasingly. His meridians emitted excited clanging sounds. At this time, Yang Wu not only wanted to replenish his own consumption, he also wanted to break through to a higher realm. He didn't want to be moved any further. Xianyuan Jun watched his battle just now and was still confident that he could fight one-on-one with him. It was enough to show that the other party was full of confidence and his fighting methods were terrifying. Although he also had the confidence to fight, he didn't want to take the risk. Those people just now had posed a great threat to him. It was also because he had many trump cards that he was barely able to kill them. What's more, those people were careless first, which gave him the opportunity to take advantage of them. The profound chi of heaven and earth was rich, and the replenishment of power was faster. Yang Wu used less than half a quarter of an hour to fill his dantian with power again. The other forces were quickly helping him to advance to the late stage of the advanced heavenly fish realm. Yang Wu still felt that this speed was slow. He had a large number of upper-grade profound spirit stones in his Qiankuan space that were refined together. Inside and outside, the power of his dantian quickly rose to the late stage of the advanced heavenly fish realm. It only took him a quarter of an hour to reach this step. In the remaining time, Yang Wu continued to strengthen, reaching the perfection of the advanced heavenly fish realm. Countless profound chi of heaven and earth gathered, becoming thicker and thicker, making Xianyuan Jun more and more flustered. He wanted to interrupt Yang Wu's rest and kill him, but his arrogant self-esteem repeatedly prevented him from doing so. No matter what tricks you play, it's only a path to death, Xianyuan Jun muttered. An hour quickly passed. Yang Wu didn't break through to the peak heavenly fish realm. He was depressed. I've been desperately absorbing the profound chi of heaven and earth, but there's still no way to take that step. It seems that my foundation is too thick, and I still need time to temper myself before I can reach perfection. Time's up. You've almost recovered. Get up and prepare to die. Xianyuan Jun didn't want to wait a moment longer. He was really afraid that Yang Wu would make some movements that would disturb his state of mind. Yang Wu slowly stood up and looked at Xianyuan Jun. Let's fight first, fists, legs, or swords. It's up to you. It's up to you, Xianyuan Jun said indifferently. After a pause, he added, my fists are enough to kill you. He then come. Yang Wu sneered and took the initiative to attack. At this time, Yang Wu couldn't hold back any longer. Other than attacking with all his strength, he had no other choice. Black Tortoise Tyrant Fist. As Yang Wu cultivated this move to perfection, his body revealed an imposing aura. The fist energy contained a dense fist intent that wasn't any worse than the Dragon Sea Overturning Sky technique or Barbarian Fist. It could even fully activate the extreme power of the battle blood in his body. The power of the fist energy was even stronger than before. It was as if a black tortoise was riding the wind and breaking the waves as it rushed over. Its target was Xianyuan Jun. Xianyuan Jun felt Yang Wu's fist and thought to himself, as expected, he's stronger than before. This brat's talent is outstanding. Unfortunately, he still has to die. Just as Yang Wu's fist was about to land in front of Xianyuan Jun stretched out a hand. This was a dragon's hand that directly grasped the power of Yang Wu's fist in his palm. Yang Wu's pupils contracted. He said in shock, so strong. His fist might not even be able to take on a dragon transformation realm cultivator, but Xianyuan Jun easily took it. How could he not be shocked? You're too weak. Chapter 756. Once upon a time, Yang Wu was despised by others like this. Ever since his strong rise, his battle prowess was always going against the odds, and his performance was often stunning. But today Yang Wu was despised by others. Xianyuan Jun blocked Yang Wu's attack with one hand, proving that his strength already far surpassed the previous four people. Kill! Yang Wu was never a person who was willing to show weakness. He roared, and the ice blade wings invisibly slashed out, directly chopping towards Xianyuan Jun's waist. Clank! Xianyuan Jun didn't even circulate his chi energy, and the defensive battle armor he wore blocked Yang Wu's ice blade wings attack. Go on your way! Xianyuan Jun shouted, and his other hand attacked. A dragon fist blasted towards Yang Wu's stomach. Yang Wu's other hand was grabbed by the other party. He didn't even have the chance to react, and was ruthlessly punched by the other party. Puff! Yang Wu's body was sent flying, blood splattering all over the sky. Xianyuan Jun chased after like a shadow, angrily stomping down on Yang Wu's body. His speed was very fast, just like a true dragon. Compared to Yang Wu's roaming dragon steps, it was even more exquisite and extraordinary. Yang Wu hadn't bounced up from the ground yet, and was stomped under Xianyuan Jun's foot. Yang Wu only felt as if a mountain was pressing down on him. That terrifying pressure embedded him into the ground of the arena. Too strong. Only this word could describe Xianyuan Jun's strength. The other party hadn't used his full strength yet, and Yang Wu was already showing an appearance of being unable to withstand. How was he going to fight this battle? Brat, submit to this prince, and this prince will spare your life. Xianyuan Jun said faintly. Geniuses cherished geniuses. As the prince of the Xianyuan family, Xianyuan Jun could recruit troops, develop his own power, and even become the emperor of a dynasty in the future. As for whether or not he could become the crown prince, he needed more help, and Yang Wu was undoubtedly one of the best candidates for help. Yang Wu felt very humiliated. Although the other party's realm was indeed much higher than his, he never thought that the other party was really undefeatable. But in just one exchange, he was beaten like this. He refused to accept this. Submit to your mother. Yang Wu cursed and controlled the ice blade wings to chop down on Xianyuan Jun's head. Clank! The battle band on Xianyuan Jun's forehead emitted a strong power, forming an extremely powerful defensive power, blocking Yang Wu's ice blade wing attack. Scram! Xianyuan Jun grasped the ice blade wing's trajectory and punched the ice blade. The ice blade wings changed direction to attack under the control of Yang Wu's mind, but it was still crushed by the power of Xianyuan Jun's punch. Cracks appeared on the body of the wings, and Yang Wu's kidneys twitched in pain. He hurriedly withdrew the ice blade wings. Unorthodox methods, what other tricks do you have? Feel free to use them. Xianyuan Jun said disapprovingly. Get out of my way. Yang Wu was unwilling to be stepped on like this by the other party. He frantically mobilized the Xian Qi and battle blood in his body. His fighting strength rose crazily, wanting to forcefully shake off Xianyuan Jun. Xianyuan Jun kept increasing his power to step on Yang Wu. Behind him, there seemed to be a yellow dragon soaring into the sky, appearing awe-inspiring. Emperor Yellow Profound Technique. This was the unique battle chi of the Xianyuan family. Xianyuan Jun's strength was stronger than Yang Wu's, but if he wanted to step on Yang Wu with one foot and not let him turn over, it was not so easy to do. He needed to mobilize an even stronger power to step on him and completely destroy his will. No matter how you struggle, it's useless. Hurry up and submit to me. Only then will you have a chance to live. Xianyuan Jun continued to attack Yang Wu's confidence. Yang Wu's eyes were red, his battle blood boiling. He condensed his battle chi into his limbs and bones, reaching his limit. His body bent like a turtle. Scram! Xianyuan Jun continued to increase his strength as he shouted. The yellow dragon roared, its dragon claws shaking the sky. Just as Yang Wu's body was pressed down again, the heavenly thunder bone suddenly reacted. The lumbar bone had been tempered by heavenly thunder, becoming a thunder bone. Other than showing some use in the battle against Lei Shuyang, it had never displayed its ability. Under Xianyuan Jun's angry stomp, the heavenly thunder bone was stimulated, and wisps of lightning power spread out from the heavenly thunder bone. ZZ. The heavenly thunder bone emitted lightning power, which was enough to turn all living things into ashes. No one could underestimate it. Xianyuan Jun completely didn't expect Yang Wu to be able to burst out with lightning power. His leg was quickly pulled back by this power. That terrifying power spread from his leg to every part of his body, making him feel uncomfortable. Yang Wu also took the opportunity to jump up. He didn't even think about it as he pulled out his death scythe and slashed back at Xianyuan Jun. Die! Yang Wu's heart was incomparably angry. The death aura spread out in all directions. The death scythe slashed out a strong death aura, and slashed at Xianyuan Jun. Xianyuan Jun faced the Tao of Death. He didn't dare to underestimate it. He faced Yang Wu's blade with a punch. Soaring Dragon Fist. A yellow dragon broke out of the ground, and a heavy power broke through the air, directly colliding with the death scythe. Bang! The yellow dragon was like a hot knife through butter, shattering the death scythe. However, its momentum was also corroded by the death aura. It couldn't cause any damage to Yang Wu. The Tao of Death is really something, but it's only limited to this. Xianyuan Jun sighed lightly. Yang Wu raised his scythe and slashed again. The death aura shrouded Xianyuan Jun, constantly seeping into his body, trying to deprive him of his life force. Moreover, it also attacked his divine court, causing him to feel fear. Xianyuan Jun's expression didn't change. With the yellow dragon protecting his back, he continuously struck out with his dragon fists, shattering all the scythe. Moreover, there were still dragon shadows wreaking havoc towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu not only didn't gain the upper hand, but was also forced to retreat step by step. The scythe in his hand almost slipped out of his hand. Xianyuan Jun didn't want to be entangled with Yang Wu. He closed in on him and launched a series of dragon fists. The power of each punch could kill a mid-grade minor saint. Even a high-grade minor saint's combat strength couldn't compare to his. Xianyuan Jun was able to kill opponents who were 2 levels higher than him. He was much stronger than the previous 4. Unless there was a top-grade minor saint here, there was no way he could suppress Xianyuan Jun. Yang Wu entered his strongest defensive state, but it was still useless. His tortoise shell was destroyed by the enemy. Even with the protection of his battle armor, the hidden force still seeped into his body, causing his internal organs to shift and causing him to vomit blood continuously. Yang Wu's defeat was too obvious. If this continued, he would die without a doubt. The gap is too big, Yang Wu said in despair. He wanted to use his soul eye to attack, but the battle band on his opponent's forehead must have a strong defensive effect. He was afraid that his soul eye wouldn't be of much use. He had to rely on his own strength to defeat his opponent. Barbarian Dragon Fist. Barbarian Elephant Fist. Yang Wu seemed to have gone mad. He didn't care about the injuries on his body and attacked his opponent. The minor saint battle body that he was proud of still couldn't withstand his opponent's attack. If he didn't have the battle armor in front of him, his body would definitely be smashed. His strength hit his opponent's body, but the dragon scale armor formed in front of his opponent and blocked all the attack. Barbarian Beast Fist. Xianyuan Jun looked at Yang Wu's attack and said in surprise. In the next moment, he continued to attack. Not only did he disrupt Yang Wu's attack, but he also captured Yang Wu again. He shouted, "Are you a member of the Yang family or a barbarian?" Yang Wu didn't answer. His body released a strong electric current again. The electric current made Xianyuan Jun's hand hurt and he quickly retracted it. If it was someone else, their hand would have been burnt by the electric current. Yang Wu escaped again. He didn't lose his mind. His brain was spinning rapidly, thinking of how to deal with Xianyuan Jun. When he was on the 8th floor, even if he encountered a top-grade minor saint, he could still escape if he couldn't win. But in the arena, he had no room to escape. He could only fight to the death. He had to think of a countermeasure. He didn't want to stop at this floor and he didn't want to die here. Heavenly Lightning Bone has unlimited electric power. Unfortunately, my Heavenly Lightning Bone is not complete. If it was complete, I would definitely be able to gather the power of lightning and kill him. No matter what, I still have to give it a try. Maybe I can have another kind of talent, Yang Wu thought in his heart. Then, he activated all the Heavenly Lightning Bones in his body. The Heavenly Lightning Bones vibrated. Strands of lightning energy gathered together and emitted out of his body. *ZZ**. Suddenly, a magnetic field of lightning spread out with Yang Wu as the center. Strands of lightning energy contained a terrifying power, forcing Xianyuan Jun to retreat continuously. Xianyuan Jun circulated his defensive power. Layers of dragon scales covered his body. These dragon scales were incomparably real. Their defensive power was very strong. Even a mid-grade minor saint couldn't break it. However, the power of lightning had a penetrative ability. It ignored the dragon scales' defense and seeped into Xianyuan Jun's flesh, causing him to be in great pain. If it wasn't for his amazing physique, the power of lightning would have burnt him to a crisp. What the hell? This is the real power of lightning. Xianyuan Jun cursed and quickly retreated, increasing the distance between him and Yang Wu. Yang Wu was still controlling the power of the heavenly lightning bone. The potential of the heavenly lightning bone emerged in his mind. The heavenly lightning bone had the most destructive power in the world. At the same time, it also had the most overbearing electric power. Yang Wu's heavenly lightning bone had absorbed countless heavenly lightning. It could release high-voltage electric power that was enough to electrocute a minor saint to death. Unfortunately, his heavenly lightning bone wasn't complete. It couldn't fully release the power of this electric power. Even so, Yang Wu could still form an electric magnetic field. It was completely different from the Death Chi field. The former focused on destruction, while the latter focused on obliterating life force. Xianyuan Jun was pushing him too hard. In order to prevent Xianyuan Jun from approaching him, this electric magnetic field was the best defensive power. While releasing the electric magnetic field, Yang Wu rapidly healed his wounds and thought of the final solution. Not far away, Xianyuan Jun sneered and said, "Do you really think you won't die just by using a little bit of lightning energy? You are too naive." After saying that, he chose to attack from a distance, not giving Yang Wu any chance to breathe. Seems like I can only take this step. Yang Wu thought to himself helplessly. He looked at the position of the elixir in his Qiankuan space, and took out a round and smooth third tribulation elixir. Heavenly Fish Pill. Chapter 757. Yang Wu was an alchemist, and a little saint alchemist. An alchemist of this level would have an extraordinary status in the transcendent world. However, no one would have thought that Yang Wu had never taken any pills to increase his realm. That was because he had always remembered Little Hei's words. Unless it was a last resort, he could not take any pills to increase his realm. It would affect his foundation. As his experience grew, he also understood that taking pills to increase his realm would have a certain impact on his foundation. However, this did not mean that it could not be smoothed out. As long as he continued to build his foundation and was not in a hurry to increase his realm again, he could smooth out the effects of the pills. Moreover, it also depended on the nature of the pills refined. Ordinary pills had average effects, but the backlash was great. First tribulation pills had obvious effects, but the backlash was small. Second tribulation pills had strong effects, but the backlash was even smaller. Third tribulation pills had perfect effects, and the backlash was almost negligible. Yang Wu decided to use the third tribulation heavenly fish pill he refined to break through his current realm and reach the top heavenly fish realm. Perhaps only then would he have the qualifications to compete with Xianyuan Jun. Yang Wu did, as he said. Before Xianyuan Jun's attack arrived, he released a puppet body to block in front of him. This puppet did not have any energy injected, so it did not have any ability to move. It could only serve as a shield, which was not against the rules. Bang! Xianyuan Jun's attack landed on the puppet body, and the puppet was instantly blown to pieces. It was also at this moment that Yang Wu's figure retreated a lot. He refined the heavenly fish pill, 6-flavor earth pill, and extreme speed pill together. 3 different pills with different effects were used on him. The heavenly fish pill increased the power of his dantian, the 6-flavor earth pill restored his kidney power, and the extreme speed pill increased his speed. Yang Wu withdrew the electromagnetic field. He still had no way to use it, and it was useless to keep it. Xianyuanjun's attack was too overbearing, and it still could not block it. However, after releasing the electromagnetic field, he discovered the extraordinariness of the Heavenly Thunder Bone. After he finished refining the Heavenly Thunder Bone body, it would definitely form a new innate magical ability. You can't escape. Xianyuanjun sneered and continued to throw out punches. Every punch had a yellow dragon roaring out. How powerful was the power of the punch! In an instant, 7 yellow dragons filled every corner of the arena. Majestic power wreaked havoc in the arena. How could Yang Wu withstand it? Yang Wu refined the celestial fish elixir. The power of this elixir was very strong. It quickly turned into a large amount of celestial chi liquid, which helped the earth sea in his dantian to surge, wave after wave. The celestial fish kept swimming. It looked up to the sky and breathed in and out. The mysterious bridge of heaven and earth flashed with light, the 12 standard meridians, the 8 mysterious meridians, and the celestial chi ran in the great circle of heaven and earth. Any cultivator who was at the critical juncture of a breakthrough would definitely find a quiet and safe place to break through so as to avoid being disturbed and affecting the breakthrough. Yang Wu was forced into a corner. He could only choose to break through in the middle of the battle. If he failed, he would probably suffer a severe backlash. Facing Xianyuanjun's attack, Yang Wu took out the demon taming token and activated the celestial sound. It quickly enlarged and formed a 10,000 demon token, blocking all the attacks. The demon taming token was overused when he fought against the Xing family. He could not activate the demon tamer will to fight for the time being. However, that did not stop it from acting as a shield. If those demon tamers were still alive and found out that Yang Wu was using the demon taming token like this, they would probably die from anger. Boom, boom, boom. The power of the yellow dragons was blocked by the demon taming token. Under such pressure, Yang Wu had no choice. He shouted, "Break through!" He used all his strength to circulate the Regal 9 profound mantra and used the fastest speed to refine the heavenly fish pill. He also crazily absorbed the surrounding Xian Qi. With the support of this pure Xian Qi, breaking through was not a problem. Yang Wu's soul and physical body had reached the small saint realm first. He had also relied on the 9 Lotus Divine Throne to fight against a saint. His understanding of higher realms was not something that others at the same level could compare with. It was only natural that he would break through to the heavenly fish realm. Dong! There seemed to be a morning bell ringing in Yang Wu's body. The sea in his dantian boiled to the extreme. It washed through his meridians and acupoints. The heavenly fish realm leaped high, almost crossing the dragon gate. A tyrannical force swept out in all directions. It was unknown how many times greater the commotion caused by an ordinary person breaking through to the heavenly fish realm. This brat actually dares to break through at this time. He really doesn't know how to write the word death? Xianyuanjun finally realized Yang Wu's situation. He shouted loudly and his body transformed into a dragon as he rushed over. His 2 fists blasted out again and again. The fist energy was even more powerful than before. Invisible Dragon Fist. The attack trajectory of this fist was very strange. It actually sank into the ground and bombarded Yang Wu's position from the ground. The yellow dragon was of the earth attribute. The earth dragon could escape. This was the strange part of the invisible dragon fist. Xianyuanjun's purpose of using this move was to avoid the demon taming token and injure Yang Wu. That's definitely a holy token. I didn't expect this brat to have some background. It's a pity that he's facing me. It's destined to be useless. Xianyuanjun thought disdainfully. The invisible dragon fist exploded at Yang Wu's position. It was as if a yellow dragon had opened its mouth to swallow Yang Wu. Yang Wu was completely focused on breaking through. He couldn't dodge in time and was sent flying by the explosion. His blood and chi churned rapidly. The power he had just broken through was almost destroyed in an instant. His meridians also showed signs of tearing. profound chi seeped out from his meridians, causing him to suffer a backlash. Puff! Yang Wu spat out a mouthful of blood, but he continued to grit his teeth and operated the supreme 9 profound arts. Moreover, he channeled a trace of immortal chi into his body and profound chi, forcefully forcing the remaining force of the impact out of his body and calming the damage to his meridians. Immortal chi was Yang Wu's last life-saving method. It indeed possessed extraordinary power. Even if he only used a trace, it was enough for him to forcefully stabilize the damage he suffered from the backlash. However, this attack also caused his breakthrough this time to be imperfect. A trace of a wound appeared on the body of the heavenly fish. This was an injury of the martial path. If he couldn't heal it, he was afraid that he would stop here for the rest of his life. When Yang Wu saw this situation, his heart went cold. This kind of injury couldn't be reversed by ordinary medicinal pills. Immortal Qi couldn't heal it. He could only rely on himself. Xianyuan Jun attacked again. His dragon fist was always so domineering. If he didn't kill Yang Wu, he wouldn't be at ease. This time, Yang Wu wasn't hit by him. He forcefully twisted his body like a swimming fish and dodged this punch. Xianyuan Jun's attack wasn't just one punch, but one punch after another. He practically sealed off all the space in the air, not giving Yang Wu the slightest chance to catch his breath. This kind of continuous attack was truly terrifying. Yang Wu adjusted his posture and once again raised the demon taming token to block these attacks. After he blocked this round of attacks, Xianyuan Jun stopped attacking. It wasn't that he couldn't do anything to Yang Wu, but he told Yang Wu, "Do you really think that a piece of sacred token can save your little life?" Just as he finished speaking, Yang Wu put away the demon taming token. He took a deep breath and stared at Xianyuan Jun as he said faintly, "I'm going to beat you up." Xianyuan Jun seemed to have heard the funniest joke of the year. He looked up to the sky and laughed loudly. "Ha ha! Are you out of your mind? You still dare to spout such arrogant words. What you gave me, I'll return it all to you now." After Yang Wu replied, he completely activated all of his strength, preparing to carry out the fiercest revenge. 4 wings appeared on his back. With a flap of his wings, his speed doubled. The extreme speed pill took effect and his speed increased again. Moreover, his battle blood was boiling, increasing his speed even more. An afterimage flashed in the air as Yang Wu quietly appeared beside Xianyuan Jun. The black tortoise tyrant fist punched out with all of his strength. The profound chi of heaven and earth gathered as the black tortoise broke out of the sea. His domineering aura shocked the heavens. Bang! Xianyuan Jun didn't expect Yang Wu's speed to suddenly be so fast. He didn't react for a moment and the back of his head was heavily punched by Yang Wu. Even with the protection of the warband, he was still hit dizzily. After Yang Wu's move succeeded, his strength after breaking through completely erupted. He was like a berserk black tortoise, one punch after another. The power of a tsunami bombarded Xianyuan Jun's body crazily. Xianyuan Jun was also outstanding. An emperor's aura rose from his body. With the yellow dragon on his body, his defensive power rapidly doubled. He repeatedly blocked Yang Wu's attacks. His body was pushed down, but he didn't suffer too serious injuries. "Do you really think you're invincible after breaking through? You're still far from it," Xianyuan Jun replied. Like a dragon, he flipped over and launched a roundhouse kick at Yang Wu with both feet. "I'm not invincible, but I can still kill you," Yang Wu replied domineeringly. The death aura was released once again. The death scythe reappeared, and a devil slayer was slashed out angrily. When he was in the high-level heavenly fish realm, Yang Wu's attacks didn't pose much of a threat to Xianyuan Jun. After he broke through a realm, his battle prowess increased by a lot. Adding on the battle prowess of the war blood innate skill, it was enough to threaten Xianyuan Jun. The death scythe seemed to have countless ghosts crying out in grievance. It also seemed like the black and white impermanence had come to claim his life. Xianyuan Jun finally revealed a look of fear. The yellow dragon awakened to protect his body. Dragon fists repeatedly struck out, wanting to shatter the power of the death scythe. Rumble! Rumble! Yang Wu's strength had indeed increased by a lot. He slashed Xianyuan Jun's dragon fists to pieces. Although his scythe moves were also old, he had evened out the gap between him and Xianyuan Jun. The two were evenly matched, and the battle became abnormally intense. Yang Wu used the death scythe as a battle weapon and the demon taming token as a shield. Both his attack and defense were equipped with the power of a sacred weapon. He carried a dense, evil aura as he fought. Xianyuan Jun was also forced into a corner. He repeatedly used wonderful moves. Apart from the soaring dragon fist, he also struck out with powerful palm techniques and leg techniques, adding various variations. But the death aura gave him too much pressure, forcing him to retreat again and again. If this continued, he would undoubtedly be defeated. How could he be someone who admitted defeat so easily? He still hadn't used his trump card. Just as Yang Wu's scythe slashed towards his head, the power of the yellow dragon in his body instantly surged. Emperor Yellow Mystic Technique. Chapter 758. Emperor Yellow Profound Technique. This was the battle chi power that had been passed down in the Xianyuan family. This was the innate power of the human ancestor, the Yellow Emperor. It was an imperial righteous energy, the Emperor's chi. It was extremely compatible with the Xian Qi of heaven and earth. It could greatly use the Xian Qi of heaven and earth to strengthen the battle Qi and condense the physique. The reason why Xianyuan Jun was so powerful, other than being a primary dragon transformation realm expert, his soul and body had been tempered to the minor saint realm when he was in the heavenly fish realm. When he broke through to the dragon transformation realm, the strength of his soul and body naturally improved. When the Emperor Yellow Profound Technique was activated, his strength directly rose to the intermediate dragon transformation realm. That terrifying strength sent Yang Wu's attack flying. Yang Wu's move was not without success. The battle band on Xianyuan Jun's head was cut off by the death scythe's power. The Black Tortoise Battle Chi could help increase one's offensive and defensive strength, while the Emperor Yellow Profound Technique could stimulate one's potential and directly increase one's combat strength by one level. Any warrior who suddenly increased one level in the middle of a battle would bring about a decisive change in the battle. With Xianyuan Jun's strength, even if he did not activate the Emperor Yellow Profound Technique, he still had the advantage. However, Yang Wu had the death aura. This threat was too great. Even he did not dare to be careless. That was why he used the Emperor Yellow Profound Technique. Xianyuan Jun, who was in the primary dragon transformation realm, was already very strong. When he increased his cultivation by one level, would Yang Wu still have a chance of winning? After Yang Wu was sent flying, he also revealed an incomparably shocked expression. He exclaimed in his heart, as expected of the number one battle clan since ancient times, "This heaven-defying battle chi is too terrifying. To be able to force me to this extent, Yang Wu, you are very outstanding. I'll give you one last chance. Submit to this prince, or die." Xianyuan Jun looked at Yang Wu with indifferent eyes and said coldly, "It has always been others who submit to me. Don't be wishful thinking." Yang Wu's other hand appeared with the double-blade three-dragon spear. He was ready to fight to the death. "That's too bad." Xianyuan Jun sighed softly and pointed a finger at Yang Wu. Yellow dark finger. A khaki-colored power shot out from the finger light, and the surrounding Xian Qi of heaven and earth gathered in the finger light. In an instant it shot towards the position of Yang Wu's heart. Bang! Yang Wu didn't even have the chance to react before he was shot in the heart. A hole appeared in his armor, and the power entered his heart, trying to destroy his heart and extinguish his life force. His body was sent flying, and blood splattered all over the sky. He had broken through to the top of the heavenly fish realm and had a very strong combat power, but he was still vulnerable when the other party was serious. Xianyuan Jun looked at Yang Wu, who had been sent flying far away, and lightly shook his head, muttering, "I don't know if Seventh Sister's heart will ache, but this is the first time I've seen her care so much about a man." He thought that Yang Wu was dead for sure, but when Yang Wu bounced up from the ground, he was astonished. "He's still not dead?" Yang Wu kept the death scythe, and only held the double-edged triple dragon spear. He stared at Xianyuan Jun and replied, "If you want to kill me, it won't be so easy if you don't show some of your true ability. Then let's see how many of my fingers you can withstand." Xianyuan Jun smiled faintly. Thus, he flicked his finger again, and the yellow dark finger shot out again. The yellow dark finger was fast, accurate, and ruthless. Every finger could kill a mid-grade minor saint. Even a high-grade minor saint might not be able to withstand it. This time, Yang Wu concentrated his spiritual sense, and vaguely captured the attack of the yellow dark finger. His body dodged again, and his body brushed past the finger light. When he couldn't dodge it, he held the demon taming token and blocked it. The demon taming token was indeed a saint token. Even Xianyuan Jun's attack couldn't break it, and could only push Yang Wu back. Xianyuan Jun frowned slightly and said, "Troublesome kid, I can't play with him anymore." In the next moment, he took a step in the air, and a yellow dragon was formed under his feet, charging towards Yang Wu. Soaring Dragon Technique. Soaring Dragon Fist. It was another Soaring Dragon Fist. The absolute power of the Soaring Dragon Fist crushed Yang Wu. That huge yellow dragon seemed to have descended from the sky. It opened its huge mouth and bit towards Yang Wu. Such an oppressive chi made even Yang Wu feel suffocated. A sense of crisis filled his whole body. If he couldn't block this attack, he would be smashed into meat paste. Yang Wu held the double-edged triple dragon spear, and looked up at the incoming attack. The power of his battle blood was pushed to the extreme once again. The heaven and earth underworld bridge crazily drew out the energy from his body, and gathered it on the battle spear. He revealed a desperate look and roared, "Fight!" Reverse Dragon soars to the heavens. This was the final spear of the Reverse Dragon spear art. It was like a true dragon was defying the heavens, and Yang Wu became one with the battle spear. It was as if he was the battle spear, and the battle spear was him. He reached the realm of one with the spear, and his power continued to increase. A huge yellow dragon and a blue dragon crashed into each other fiercely. The large dragon ate the small dragon, and the blue dragon couldn't withstand a single blow. It completely collapsed in an instant. Just as the small dragon disappeared, a strange scene suddenly appeared. It was as if a river had crossed over from the other side of the sky, and a dragon rushed out from the river. This was a mighty flying dragon. Its body wasn't large, but its speed was incomparably shocking. The surrounding heaven and earth underworld chi was gathered by it, forming a destructive attack. Extreme River Flying Dragon. Yang Wu became one with the spear, not only to use the reverse dragon soars to the heavens, but also to prepare for the final attack. Extreme River Flying Dragon was a move that Yang Taihe had passed on to him. It was a move that Yang Taihe had created himself, and it possessed extraordinary power. Yang Taihe was the most outstanding genius of the Yang clan 5,000 years ago. He carried the rise and fall of the Yang clan on his back. At that time, his bloodline power had reached 85%. His talent and power were exceptional, and his comprehension was even more astonishing. Extreme River Flying Dragon was a move that he and his lover had created. It contained their love. Their love could cut off the Milky Way, and any obstacle could be shattered in front of them. Extreme River Flying Dragon soars to the heavens. Rumble, rumble. Earth-shattering power continued to explode without end. Xianyuan Jun could feel that Yang Wu's move was extraordinary, but in front of his absolute strength, this was nothing. He disdainfully roared, "No matter how powerful a move is, without enough power to support it, what does it count for? Explode for me!" Yang Wu's attack was suppressed again, but there was no fear in his eyes. As he used the monster-taming command to withstand the attack, the ice blade wings flew out again, slashing towards Xianyuan Jun's head. The defensive warband on his head had already been cut off by the death scythe, so the ice blade wings could injure him. Xianyuan Jun's reaction was too powerful. When the ice blade wings slashed at his head, Dragon Chi appeared behind him, forcefully blocking the attack of the ice blade wings. You are too naive. The same attack is ineffective against me, and you still dare to use it again. Xianyuan Jun sneered. His aura was released, and like a dragon turning over, a powerful strength sent the ice blade wings flying far away. It was also at this moment that Yang Wu, who had been planning this for a long time, finally bared his malevolent fangs. The space between his eyebrows split open, and a third eye appeared. Soul Eye, Soul Extermination. A beam of soul light shot towards the space between Xianyuan Jun's eyebrows. The soul power was formless and traceless. In an instant it shot into the space between Xianyuan Jun's eyebrows, entering his divine court, wanting to exterminate his soul. However, as a member of the Xianyuan clan, they had tempered their soul and physical body by themselves. Their soul had the power to defend itself. Yang Wu's beam of soul light was not able to directly erase Xianyuan Jun's soul. It only caused some injuries to him, but it was far from reaching the step of exterminating his soul. Yang Wu sensed it at the first moment. His war soul quickly rushed over along the power of the soul light. The war soul condensed the power of the divine court Dao flower, and brandished a fist of death. The war soul's attack entered Xianyuan Jun's soul. That terrifying aura of death made his soul feel a strong threat. His soul entered the stage of death defense, but the power of death quickly pervaded above his soul. His soul rapidly dissipated, and he was completely unable to block the power of this attack. Soul attack, no. Xianyuan Jun revealed an incomparably horrified expression as he roared. Facing an ordinary soul attack, he could block it. But Yang Wu's soul attack came wave after wave. The threatening power was too terrifying. His defensive power instantly collapsed. I'll return a finger to you. After Yang Wu took the initiative, he pointed a finger at Xianyuan Jun's head. Whoosh! Bang! The volcano finger swiftly shot towards the space between Xianyuan Jun's eyebrows. His soul collapsed, and his physical body's defense was completely lost. The volcano finger exploded in the space between his eyebrows. His head could not withstand the power of this attack and instantly exploded. Xianyuan Jun was dead. After Yang Wugong defeated Xianyuan Jun, his body fell straight down backward. He was completely drained. No matter whether it was physically or mentally, this battle had exhausted all of his strength. Furthermore, the heavenly fish had a martial Dao injury. When he drained all of his strength, it became difficult for him to circulate his strength. The heavenly fish seemed to have lost its vitality, and was unable to support his overloaded operation. This was also the reason why after he killed Xianyuan Jun, he directly collapsed. Martial Dao injuries were also known as Great Dao injuries. This was even more terrifying than Dantian shattering. Dantian shattering could be reconstructed using medicine, but martial Dao injuries were ineffective. One could only rely on themselves to think of a way to save themselves. In this world, no matter who it was that had a great Dao injury, they were destined to find it hard to advance a single step for the rest of their lives. Yang Wu fainted. He did not know how long he had fainted for. When he faintly woke up, a voice sounded out by his ear. Successfully passed the 9th level's test. You can rest for 3 days before entering the 10th level to cultivate. Yang Wu heard in his days that he had 3 days to rest, and instantly felt at ease. He was still afraid of entering the 10th level in this state. That was no different from courting death. He crawled up with difficulty and looked around. He discovered that the arena was gone, and the 5 people he killed had also disappeared. Not even a drop of blood essence was left behind. He was puzzled as he said, "Could it be that what I experienced was an illusion?" Chapter 759. Yang Wu didn't know if he was experiencing an illusion. He only knew that the injuries in his body were real. During the 3 days of rest, he kept using the celestial qi to nourish the celestial fish. He even absorbed the dragon qi, hoping to heal his injuries. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it. If the immortal qi could enter the dantian, it might solve this problem. But the immortal qi is outside the dantian and can't enter it. I'm afraid my injuries won't heal in a short time, Yang Wu thought worriedly. Then he thought, now that I've reached the top celestial fish realm, the Supreme Nine Mysteries formula has hit a bottleneck again. I'm afraid it will be difficult to increase my strength in a short time. I have to find the fourth kind of Xian essence qi. Yang Wu wasn't discouraged by his injuries. He firmly believed that he could find a way to heal his injuries. Yang Wu recovered and headed for the 10th level. His great-grandmother had hoped that he could reach the 9th level. Now, not only had he done it, but he had also gone 1 level higher. The first 9 levels were full of danger. He felt that the 10th level would be even more difficult. He had already planned to stop at the 10th level. If he encountered a difficult test, he might as well admit defeat and stop persisting. After Yang Wu entered the 10th level, he realized that the Xian Qi here was even better than the 9th level. As he walked in this space, he could feel the nourishment of the Xian Qi. It was almost the same as the celestial qi in the Earth Sea. It proved that it was extremely pure, without any impurities. Although this kind of Xian qi couldn't be compared to the source qi of heaven and earth, it was rare in the outside world. It was comparable to the Xian essence qi. Yang Wu couldn't help but marvel at the magic and power of the god of War Pagoda. It could produce such pure Xian qi. You can cultivate on this level for 3 years, which is equivalent to 10 days in the outside world. You can also choose to continue to the 11th level, but you have to pass the test. Please make your choice, a voice said. The time has doubled. Yang Wu exclaimed. No wonder the war race could occupy a large part of the battle realm and stand in the center of this realm. There must be a reason. Please make your choice, the voice said again. Yang Wu hesitated for a moment before saying, continue the test. There was a reason why Yang Wu had made this choice. He hoped that he would be able to continue on. Perhaps he would have the opportunity to reach the peak and find a solution to his martial arts injuries. Right after he answered, a completely different voice rang out, My descendant, why aren't you kneeling when you see your ancestor? A hazy figure appeared in front of Yang Wu. It was a man with a very domineering appearance. He wore a suit of battle armor and held a war spear in his hand. He had a blue-black tortoise crystal belt around his waist and a pair of water suppression boots on his feet. He was like a god in the water. The waves behind him surged violently, as if they would change according to his emotions. Yang Wu sized him up and asked, Which ancestor are you? In fact, he was not familiar with any of the ancestors of the Yang clan. However, the aura the other party gave him was very familiar. It was like the aura of a relative. It was the effect of the bloodline inheritance. Haha, I don't even remember my name. I only know that others gave me a nickname, Martial God. That person said with an incomparably wild smile. Martial God? Ancestor, you are so powerful. May I ask if you have any advice? I am still in a hurry to rush to the 11th level. Why don't you be magnanimous and let me pass? After Yang Wu heard this name, his heart trembled. To be able to obtain such a title, he was definitely an unparalleled expert. This kind of person could sweep through an era. Who could stop him? Yang Wu felt that this level would definitely not be easy to pass. His confidence had been worn down a lot by Xianyuan Jun on the 9th level. You sly little fox, you are so cowardly. How did you reach this level? You really are boring. The Yang clan ancestor, who called himself the Martial God, said with disdain. Yang Wu rubbed his hands and said, Ancestor, you don't know. Our Yang clan is currently in an abyss of suffering. We have already fallen to the bottom of the War clan and can be kicked out of the War clan at any time. If we don't have one or two outstanding juniors to carry the Yang clan's banner, then the Yang clan will really fall. Is the clan really like you said? Has it really reached this point? The martial god revealed a dignified expression. Yang Wu nodded and said seriously, "A while ago, the Yang clan was almost destroyed by the Xing clan." Yang Wu made a long story short and told the other party what had happened in the Yang clan. He also knew that the other party was already a dead person. This was only the will of a remnant will. However, in order to pass this level's test, he had no choice but to use this method. After the martial god heard this, he couldn't help but sigh, I knew it would be like this. This is all my fault. This is all my fault." The martial god actually began to blame himself, causing Yang Wu to be puzzled. "Ancestor, then do you want me to go to the 11th level?" Yang Wu carefully asked. "Although I really want you to go, you still have to pass my heart inquisition first," the martial god faintly replied and pointed at Yang Wu's forehead. Yang Wu was unable to move as another scene suddenly appeared in his mind. Her Majesty the Empress is forcing us to marry. If you don't agree, she will punish us. Even if we die, we won't regret it. However, we don't want anything to happen to your brother Yang Wu. What should we do?" Yang Wu's mother, Su Rome, said with a sobbing tone. Yang Wu returned to the Grand Xia Empire. He was a 15 or 16-year-old youth. His strength had only reached the human general realm and hadn't even reached the Earth Sea realm. The power of the Grand Xia Empire here was incomparably concentrated. Not only had Empress Tang Xiaohan reached the Earth Sea realm, she also had the support of a Heavenly Fish realm protector general. It could be said that she was at the peak of her power. Now, he and Wan Lanxin were passionately in love and had already reached the stage where they were discussing marriage. The Empress suddenly ordered him to be the Empress, causing their family to be in a passive state. At this time, Yang Wu had just become the top scholar in the liberal arts and was at the peak of his youth. Once Yang Wu rejected the Empress's bestowment of marriage, Yang Wen's official career would be cut off. Not only that, his parents and Wan Lanxin would also be affected. They couldn't rule out the possibility of their entire family being exterminated. Imperial family Tang Xiaoan had known Yang Wu since they were young. For some reason, she had taken a fancy to Yang Wu and insisted that he marry into her family. Once Yang Wu married into her family, all women unrelated to him would have to break off their relationship. This was the rule of the imperial family. This scene was like history repeating itself. However, the person he was facing was the Empress and not a princess. The difference between the two was not just a little bit. Yang Jinan said faintly, "Wu, you and Xian have been childhood sweethearts. We have seen your feelings for each other. I think you should take Xian and fly far away. Our Yang clan has been loyal to the imperial family for generations. I don't think she will do anything to us." Yang Jinan was thinking more for his son. He also didn't want to wrong Yang Wu and Wan Lanxin. "Father, how can this be? Her Majesty the Empress will definitely not let you go," Yang Wu said, extremely conflicted. To be honest, his memories of Her Majesty the Empress only existed in his childhood. How she had changed now, he was also unclear. He also did not understand why she would suddenly want him to marry into her family. All of this was beyond his expectations. Could it be that it was because of a month ago when he had sex with her again? At that time, he didn't know that she was the Empress. He only thought that she was an ordinary woman and discussed the current situation with her. He also praised her outstanding temperament and said that she was a unique woman. The Empress asked him, "Do you like this version of me?" Yang Wu honestly said, "If I knew you earlier, I would definitely like a beauty like you. Unfortunately, I already have a lover in my heart. I only admire you like a flower and don't have the slightest intention of profaning you." Yang Wu's eyes were clear and his words were sincere. He really didn't have too many distracting thoughts. The Empress walked away and said, "I will give you a chance to like me." Who would have thought that a month later she would bestow a marriage? Now, one after another, betrothal gifts were being sent to the Yang clan's courtyard. Everyone in the royal city knew that the Empress had bestowed a marriage to him. Right after the betrothal ambassador left, Wan Lanxin came to the Yang clan's residence. She looked very haggard and her eyes were red and swollen from crying. It was obvious that after knowing about the matter between Yang Wu and the Empress, she was heartbroken. Seeing her like this, Yang Wu felt like his heart was being cut by a knife. He walked towards Wan Lanxin and opened his arms, wanting to hug her. However, she avoided him. She loudly asked, "Why? Listen to my explanation. Since you are together with the Empress, why did you lie to me? You are a liar. Things are not what you think. Even now, I still don't know what is going on. I didn't lie to you. I really do love you. Since you love me, then cancel this marriage. Marry me." But, what else is there? Could it be that the Empress is unreasonable? Or are you unwilling to part with her? All right, I will cancel the marriage now. Inside the royal palace, the Empress was wearing a splendid dress. She had the noble aura of a mother. It was very rare for a young girl to show up. The Empress looked down at Yang Wu and calmly said, "You came." Yang Wu knelt on the ground and replied, "Your Majesty, I beg you to take back the marriage." The Empress's beautiful eyes narrowed and asked, "Didn't you say that I am beautiful? This Empress is your woman. What are you dissatisfied with?" "Your Majesty is very beautiful, but I already have a lover. I love her very much. I don't want to abandon her. I beg you to take back the marriage." "If you want me to take back the marriage, it is not impossible. What do you want me to do? As long as I can do it, I will do my best to do it. You hurt my face. Take the lives of your entire family as the price." Chapter 760. Kill his entire family. What a terrifying thing this was. Yang Wu had been practicing martial arts since he was a child, and his talent could be considered exceptional. He had already reached the human general tier, and it was only a matter of time before he would reach the Earth Sea tier. However, compared to the Empress, his talent was still quite a bit lacking. He had never thought of climbing up the social ladder. He and Wan Lanxin were truly in love, and now that he had to face the choice of separating from her, how painful would it be for him? However, the Empress wanted to kill his entire family, and this was no joke. She had sent out the Imperial Guards to surround the Yang clan, and even the new top scholar Yang One had been captured. No one could escape. The Empress bestowing marriage was an incredibly glorious thing. What more when the woman he was marrying was the Empress? Yang Wu actually dared to refuse the marriage, and this matter was blown out of proportion. Yang Wu had not thought that the Empress's reaction would be so intense, and he was instantly thrown into the cold storage. For a moment, he did not know how to resolve this matter. He was faced with two choices. One was to be together with Wan Lanxin, and the Empress would kill his entire family. The second was to be together with the Empress, and his entire family would be fine, and Wan Lanxin would also be fine. Yang Wu only had one day to make a choice. If he did not make a decision in one day, his entire family and Wan Lanxin would all have to die. At this moment, his entire family and Wan Lanxin had all been escorted to the Meridian Gate, and they would be executed at any time. One day's time was neither long nor short. He stayed alone in the main hall of the Imperial Palace, and it was as if he had lost his soul. His mind kept replaying the scenes of being together with Wan Lanxin. She was a good girl and was also very good to him. He also loved her very much. However, his entire family was also very good to him. The only bad thing was that his family liked Yang Wen more. Whatever good things there were, they would let Yang Wen choose first, and then he would choose the rest. His mother still preferred him to marry the Empress, and Yang Wen also liked him to do so. As long as he married the Empress, Yang Wen would be like a fish in water in the imperial court, and the Yang clan would advance further. As for Wan Lanxin, she was just a woman. Even if she had saved him once or twice, compared to the lives of her family, what was she? The day gradually passed, and the atmosphere at the execution ground became extremely tense. Everyone felt that nothing would happen if Yang Wu agreed to the Empress's betrothal. Yang Wu knelt on the ground, clenching his teeth so hard that they bled. Between his family and his lover, who was more important? For this choice, Yang Wu almost wanted to kill himself with his sword. Unfortunately, the Empress had said that if he died, everyone else would be buried with him. Finally, Yang Wu looked up to the sky and roared, "I'll marry you." After Yang Wu chose to marry the Empress, the members of the Yang family were released. However, Wan Lanxin was not spared. She was beheaded. Yang Wu felt suffocated and almost fainted. His compromise couldn't save his lover's life. Only then did he realize how useless he was. He and the Empress were successfully married. They received the blessings of everyone in the dynasty. They looked so happy. After Yang Wu and the Empress married, Yang Wu began to focus on cultivation. He cultivated to the point of death. The hatred in his heart was buried deeply. After 10 years of crazy cultivation, his strength finally surpassed the Empress's and reached the heavenly fish realm. He became the #1 martial god in the dynasty. In the past 10 years, there was not a moment when he didn't want to take revenge. He had enough strength to kill the Empress and avenge Wan Lanxin. However, at this time, the Empress gave birth to a son for him. He then remembered that the Empress had taken good care of him in the past 10 years. She loved him and was willing to give birth to a baby for him. On the day she gave birth to the child, she apologized to him and said, "I know that you've been wanting to avenge her for the past 10 years. You've been working hard on your cultivation just to kill me. Now that I can see the child being born, I have no regret. You can kill me now. I've already written my will. After I die, the throne will be passed to the child, and you'll be in charge of politics." After that, she closed her eyes and waited for Yang Wu to kill her. Yang Wu was once again in a dilemma. In the end, he couldn't do it. The child was already born. How could he kill the child's mother? He was at a loss and went crazy. He completely broke down. He felt that his persistence in the past 10 years was a bubble. He couldn't avenge Wan Lanxin. He was a sinner. He wandered the streets crazily and became a homeless man. He was sometimes awake and sometimes crazy. It was as if he had been abandoned by the world. One day, he fell in the rain and met a gentlewoman who saved him. This woman was called Ziyu. She wasn't beautiful, but she was very gentle and kind. She took care of him in every possible way. She was willing to listen to his crazy words and was willing to be beaten black and blue by him when he lost his mind. She didn't complain at all. Once, he beat her until her head was bleeding. She even smiled and asked him, "Have you calmed down? If you haven't, beat me again. Even if it hurts a little, I can still bear it." Suddenly, Yang Wu's spirit seemed to be injected with a warm current. The knot in his heart was completely untied. His spirit recovered and he was no longer crazy. He brought Ziyu back to the dynasty and announced that he wanted to take Ziyu as his wife. He announced that he wanted to become the emperor of the Xia dynasty and replace his wife as the empress. He wanted her and his son to live a normal life. "Yang Wu, you heartless man. In the past, in order to save your family, you killed Wan Lanxin. Now you want to rebel for the throne. You might as well kill me." Tang Xiaohan pointed at Yang Wu and cursed. Yang Wu calmly looked at Tang Xiaohan and said, 10 years ago, you forced me to make a choice. In the end, I complied with you. However, you went against our agreement and killed Xian. 10 years later, you gave birth to a child for me and took care of me. For the child, I can no longer kill you. However, you must pay the price for what you did. Making you a commoner and taking care of my child can be considered a punishment for you. From now on, you will be the empress. She will be a good empress. You heartless traitor! You traitor! Since ancient times, it has been difficult to be both loyal and righteous. Doing things according to your conscience will never be wrong. Yang Wu woke up. It was as if he had a very long dream, a bloody dream. Everyone close to him had appeared in the dream, but everyone's role was different. He couldn't tell if this was reality or a dream. You have passed the trial of the 10th floor. A voice rang out. Yang Wu was dumbfounded. He hadn't fought anyone on this floor, so how had he passed the trial? Could it be that everything in the dream was a test for him? How did he pass? In the dream, he felt that he hadn't handled things perfectly. Wan Lanxin had died, but he hadn't killed Tang Xiaoan and had even supported Yu Yu to become the empress. He hadn't cared about his family at all. No matter how he looked at it, he didn't feel right. The martial god's voice rang out, "Do you feel that you passed easily?" Yang Wu came back to his senses, looked at the martial god and nodded. "That's right. I thought that you would fight with me. Thank you, ancestor, for accommodating me." "Haha, I didn't accommodate you. Everything was done according to the rules here. You're not bad, kid, and your temperament is fine. If you had remained in a daze and hadn't come back to your senses, you would have been eliminated." The martial god smiled, pausing for a moment before continuing, "With a junior like you in the family, I can rest assured. Back then, I squeezed out the last of the family's bloodline inheritance, causing the bloodline power of the Yang family to rapidly decline. I hope that you can reignite the family's bloodline power and restore the Yang family to its former glory." After saying this, he disappeared from this world. Yang Wu was depressed. He thought that the martial god would give him some help after saying a bunch of words of guilt. Who knew that the martial god would leave just like that? He said disdainfully in his heart, "What martial god? He didn't even give me anything. What's the use of saying these words?" Yang Wu didn't mean to be disrespectful to the martial god. It was just that he didn't get any benefits after reaching the 10th floor. He felt really uncomfortable in his heart. Just as he was about to head to the 11th floor, he suddenly discovered that the soul power of the Divine Court Dao flower had increased by a large margin. It seemed that the flower had swallowed a high-grade soul pill, and its soul power had increased by a level. When Yang Wu's battle soul broke through to the peak heavenly fish realm, it went from the initial stage to the mid-stage. After going through this test, it directly soared to the late stage, not far from the perfect stage. Don't underestimate this small increase. His mental power had greatly increased, and his senses had become sharper. It was at least comparable to the soul power of a high-grade minor saint, or even the soul power of a peak minor saint. The battle soul also had an advantage. Could fight outside of the body. Other minor saints didn't have this ability. With Yang Wu's current soul power, he wasn't afraid of those who were famous for their soul power attack. Only those who had reached the true saint realm and above could cause him pressure. Seems like it's not all for nothing, Yang Wu said to himself with satisfaction. He then walked towards the light door of the 11th floor. Welcome to the 11th floor. Half a year here is equivalent to a day outside. You can stay here and cultivate for 10 days. Or you can choose to continue to the 12th floor. Half a year was equivalent to a day, and 10 days was equivalent to 5 years. This terrifying ratio of time was extremely rare for anyone, especially for someone as young as Yang Wu. What he lacked the most was time to cultivate. If he could cultivate for a few years, he might be able to heal his injuries and refine his foundation. His combat power would become even stronger. Yang Wu wasn't satisfied with this. He murmured, "I've already come this far. Why would I choose to stop? I want to take the test." Think carefully. If you don't pass this test, you will be sent out of the tower and lose the qualification to cultivate. The voice sounded again. This voice had a bewitching quality that could shake a person's confidence. It wasn't easy for Yang Wu to reach this level. If he lost the qualification to cultivate, the blow wouldn't be small. Yang Wu's mind was in a daze. He said firmly, "Don't try to shake my will. I will step onto the 12th floor." Chapter 761. Level 11 Test. Tao Enlightenment. Yang Wu had to enter the unity of heaven and man Tao Enlightenment state within 7 days. If he could do it, he could enter level 12. If he couldn't, he had to exit the God of War pagoda. Tao Enlightenment could be the Tao of realms, the Tao of creating moves, and even the martial Tao of cultivation. No matter what kind of Tao it was, as long as he entered the Tao Enlightenment state, he could enter the final level. On level 11, the heaven and earth mystic chi here was as pure as water. It was as if he was in a pool of heaven and earth mystic chi, constantly absorbing large amounts of heaven and earth mystic chi to strengthen his body. It was extremely beneficial for his cultivation. Yang Wu wasn't in the mood to pay attention to the heaven and earth mystic chi. He was thinking about how to enter the Tao Enlightenment state. The last time he entered the Tao Enlightenment state was in the City of Redemption, where he created the Demon Slayer move. Now, he decided to continue creating his own second move. Creating a move was easier said than done. He knew how difficult it was better than anyone else. Fortunately, he had already experienced it once and was more prepared. He adjusted his condition and calmed himself down. Then, he began to look for an opportunity to create a move. Now, his cultivation was complex. There were spear techniques, sword techniques, fist techniques, palm techniques, and so on. He cultivated every battle technique well, but when he thought about it carefully, he realized that none of them could unleash a unique power. He began to meditate and went through all that he had learned in his life. Then, he took out some battle technique scrolls and compared them. The Yang family is best at spear technique. I have also inherited the Yang family's style. However, I have the Taiha flying dragon passed down by the Taiha ancestors, which makes my spear techniques better. I don't have to rush to learn spear technique. I have the nameless sword technique, which can also unleash great power. My fist techniques are also strong enough, but my palm techniques are average. However, this isn't my forte, so it's not beneficial for me to comprehend them. Or should I create a second move and combine it with the Demon Slayer move to form a battle technique? Yang Wu was very conflicted. He didn't know how to choose a move to create. After some hesitation, he chose to comprehend a saber move and combine it with the Demon Slayer to form a unique saber technique. The Death Scythe was extraordinary. Once it unleashed the power of the saber technique, its lethality would be strong enough. Moreover, it could be combined with the Tao of Death. Therefore, he entered the state of creating sword skills. However, no matter how much he meditated, he could not enter the state of enlightenment. 3 days passed in this manner, but he had gained nothing. His heart became somewhat anxious. The more it was like this, the harder it was for him to calm down and enter a state of enlightenment. Yang Wu lost confidence in creating new moves, so he changed his mind and planned to rely on meditation to enter a state of enlightenment. In the end, there was no result. Don't tell me I don't have the talent to comprehend the Tao? Yang Wu seemed extremely depressed. There were only 2 days left until the end of the 7 days. If he didn't find anything, he would have to leave. It was also at this moment that he suddenly recalled the power of the heavenly lightning bone that he had used during his battle with Xianyuan Jun electromagnetic field. The heavenly thunder bone could release lightning, and the electricity contained a very powerful destructive power. How could he unearth the innate talent of the heavenly thunder bone? As he thought about it, Yang Wu couldn't help but be fascinated. He looked at his heavenly thunder bone and used his Xian Qi to stimulate it many times. He even used the power of the heaven and earth mysterious bridge to draw out the power of the heavenly thunder bone, forming a magnetic field around him. However, this magnetic field wasn't able to unleash its full power. It should be able to be further excavated. After a while of exploration, Yang Wu found that his heavenly thunder bone was different from other bones. There were lines of patterns on the heavenly thunder bone that formed runes. They also looked like ancient words and appeared to be very mysterious. What is this? Could it be formed after being tempered by heavenly lightning? Yang Wu thought to himself. Therefore, he focused his attention on studying these runes. He found that these runes were mostly the same. They were all in the shape of a fork, just like the electric fork, wielded by the legendary goddess of lightning. The thunder hammer and electric fork were the peerless divine weapons owned by the god of thunder and the goddess of lightning. They carried out punishment on behalf of the heavens and possessed extraordinary power. If anyone committed a crime, the god of thunder and the goddess of lightning would appear and kill them with the divine weapons. As Yang Wu's spiritual power was injected into these electric fork runes, he fell into a strange state. He seemed to see the god of thunder and the goddess of lightning striking lightning. Among them, the goddess of lightning brandished her electric fork. Every fork contained millions of joule of electricity. Any living creature that came in contact with it would definitely die. Those heavenly lightning were all wielded by the goddess of lightning. Millions of heavenly lightning bolts possessed the power to destroy everything. The god of thunder was in charge of continuously striking lightning at the side. Those rumbling sounds were all produced by his thunder hammer. The god of thunder and the goddess of lightning each carried out their own duties. Neither of them would overstep the other's duty. Yang Wu's gaze was fixed on the goddess of lightning. He saw that she was releasing a terrifying magnetic field around her. Within the magnetic field, there were runes that took the form of electric forks, swimming around her. They would occasionally circle around the goddess of lightning and occasionally fly away from her. They would land on the clouds not far away, and those clouds would quickly dissipate. Yang Wu stared intently at this scene. He wanted to imprint all of this deeply into his mind. Meanwhile, the heavenly thunder bone on his body emitted a purple glow. The runes on the bone flew out from his body and formed electric forks in the magnetic field around him. These electric forks were the same as the ones wielded by the goddess of lightning. The only difference was that there was a huge difference in strength. The goddess of lightning's electric fork was moving. Yang Wu's electric fork was also moving. The goddess of lightning's electric fork was emitting destructive electricity. Yang Wu's electric fork was also emitting a considerable amount of power. The goddess of lightning held these electric forks together and formed a divine weapon, the electric fork. Yang Wu couldn't help but clench his fist. An electric fork appeared in his hand. It was as though he had become the goddess of lightning. He began to brandish the electric fork and punish all the injustice in the world. Boom, boom, boom. Outside the god of war pagoda, dark clouds suddenly gathered. Soon, there were bursts of heavenly thunder. In the sky, the figure of the goddess of lightning seemed to appear. She was using electricity. 1 bolt of heavenly thunder fell, 2 bolts of heavenly thunder fell, 3 bolts of heavenly thunder fell. 10,000 bolts of heavenly thunder fell. The sages guarding the god of war pagoda were shocked. A phenomenon from the heavens. It has something to do with the heavenly thunder, who exactly obtained a great opportunity. Our battle race doesn't have any prodigies who cultivate lightning mystic chi. Could it be that a prodigy from outside our battle race obtained a great opportunity? That might not be the case. Someone in our battle race might have awakened an astonishing talent. To be able to cause such a violent phenomenon, the opportunity obtained is not simple. I feel that this is the heavens roaring in anger. Perhaps someone that the heavens cannot tolerate has appeared. Yang Wu was completely unaware of what was happening outside the god of war pagoda. He felt that he had become the goddess of lightning and had become very awesome. However, suddenly, he was scorched by the power of lightning and felt pain all over his body. He withdrew from that state of enlightenment. I've been electrocuted. What's going on? Yang Wu screamed in confusion. Just now, he wanted to wield the electric fork in a mighty manner to draw out the lightning energy from the heavenly thunder bone to test its power. However, the lightning energy seemed to be a little too fierce. Before it could land on the electric fork, it electrocuted his body and woke him up. The electromagnetic field disappeared. He didn't know if he had passed, but he seemed to understand the use of the electromagnetic field. That was the electric fork talent. Once again, he released the electromagnetic field. This time, he was much more relaxed. Electric forks formed by electricity appeared in this magnetic field. They were like sharp blades hidden in the electromagnetic field. Anything that was shrouded by this electromagnetic field would be shredded into powder. Yang Wu took out a king-level stone and threw it at his electromagnetic field. The terrifying electricity caused the stone to crack. When Yang Wu used his mind to direct the electric fork to strike the stone, the electric fork hit the stone. Bang! The stone was quickly shattered, and the scattered stones were also ground to dust. The destructive power was astonishing. Yang Wu took out another heaven-level stone and threw it into the electromagnetic field. The heaven-level stone was very sturdy. When the electric fork hit it, it couldn't withstand the electric fork's attack. It quickly cracked and turned to dust like the king-level stone. Haha, I have another electric fork talent. Yang Wu laughed heartily. Other people would be thankful to have one talent, but now he had multiple talent. His talent was really amazing. If he could unleash all of these talents, he would definitely be able to unleash combat power that others couldn't compare to. At that moment, a voice sounded. You have passed the enlightenment stage. Congratulations on entering the top level of the battle tower. I really passed. Haha, I really passed. Yang Wu laughed excitedly. Along the way, he had gone through many challenges and almost lost his life. Only then did he stumble through all the tests and enter the top level. It was really not easy. Yang Wu calmed himself down and asked, Can I rest on this level for 2 days? No, you have half a day at most. Otherwise, you will automatically give up on entering the 12th level. The voice replied. Alright, half a day it is. Yang Wu said helplessly. He chose to stay for half a day because he wanted to further explore the power of the electromagnetic field. He felt that the electromagnetic field wasn't as simple as it seemed. It might be very powerful. The main reason was that his heavenly lightning bone hadn't been completed yet. That was why he couldn't unleash the power of his innate talent. Yang Wu spent half a day familiarizing himself with the electromagnetic field. He had a clear understanding of the power of the electric fork. With the current power of the electric fork, he could injure a high-level minor saint. If he could go one step further, he could even deal with a peak minor saint. I wonder if concocting pills here will attract heavenly lightning. I really can't wait to complete the refinement of the heavenly lightning bone. That way, I will be able to unleash an incomparably powerful force. Yang Wu murmured. He paused for a moment and said, Other than that, it can also unleash the power of the electromagnetic field. Any weapon will be attracted to it like a magnet. It can affect the weapon's attack and even destroy it.